Dude, I did mine on autofill. Done.
I
guarantee
You're already done?
Oh, it took me a minute.
I did mine this morning. Mine's a blank. I got
mine is done, and I guarantee I'll finish better than you.
Probably.
And the only reason why I say that is because the numbers tell you that. It tells you the percentage. When you look at how many number one seeds win the national title, 26 of the past 40 champions were number one seeds. That's roughly 65%. Over 50, you're winning.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't get 65%. And then translation to that is 2/3 of the champions are top seeds. So how often number one seeds reach the Final Four? 39% of number one reach the Final Four, and there are 4 number one seeds each year, of course, meaning on average, 1 to 2 number one seeds make the Final Four each year. Last year, all 4 did. I mean, I know that it doesn't happen much, but again, for all my friends, maybe 3 that I have, really, I don't give a you-know-what who's in your bracket.
Did you get him coffee yet? I brought his coffee.
Dude, this isn't, I don't even know why this isn't radio shtick.
Well, I mean, Rob,
this is absolute
Why are you so hard, man?
How's that hard?
Brackets,
I'm trying to set the tone for the week.
You have.
So leave me the F alone because I don't care who is in your bracket. Manuch, who'd you take in your bracket? I don't care. Laz, I don't care. I know who Laz took. Jimmy, I totally don't care about you.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody cares. Do you guys remember last year who had who?
No.
The year before that? No.
You know, and the other thing, too, is I filled mine out this morning. I just kind of went,
Who cares? Who cares?
And here's the thing. You listen to Jay Billis long enough, you'll get confused. So I just went, okay, with what I know and what I've watched,
the key
man,
is,
here it is.
I think the key is, because these guys are all paid. You know, what's the name? Michigan State in the final? Come on.
Yeah.
It's all about getting your picks in if you know your sports.
Sure.
If you're playing it for fun, that's great. I mean, again, I'm not against picking fun on brackets. I just don't care about your bracket.
Yeah.
My point is the best way to fill out your bracket is before the talking heads get in your ear.
How many texts did you get this weekend?
7.
Yeah, there it is.
And I was at my bar yesterday in the afternoon watching the show.
Sure.
And my guys around me like, oh, dude, Florida. I'm like, dude, I don't care.
Oh, that's good. Classic. When you run a bar, though, Roc, that's exactly what you're
I'm not a sports bar. I'm not a sports bar.
But you have screens everywhere. We've been there.
Yeah.
It's a nice little setup.
Roc, you're great stuff. We're killing it.
Yeah.
We're doing a big St. Patrick's tonight. We're starting pop culture bingo. Tomorrow we got trivia. We got St. Patty's Day. It's Torchdale. It's called Greendale tomorrow.
Okay.
And, we're going to kill it.
Makes sense. Sports talk show host for almost 22 years. You should know this stuff by now. You know?
What's there to know? There is no the skill.
They're going, hey, Roc, hold off on that bracket. We're going to go to Orangedale Lounge, and Roc's going to go ahead and he's going to help us out.
We even have one at the bar, and I'm not doing it. We really are. And the reason it was my idea.
Yeah.
Is I don't. Everybody likes to fill out the bracket and all that.
Yeah.
The way we're doing it is 64 people. All the names get thrown in a hat. I randomly go into chat, and it's going to give you your team. And if your team wins, you win a big prize.
Oh, cool. That's great. You must have been hit by it every which way, sideways, forward, backwards.
Dude, I am not ordering or sitting on my high horse. I am just stating a fact, bringing some content to the show that you guys never do. So I am bringing a discussion, and obviously it's a discussion.
I could see Roc sitting down at the Orangedale Lounge on his back saying, don't talk to me about brackets. I'm good. I could just see that on the back of his back.
No.
The guys
I got it out, and I'll never bring it up again.
Okay, good.
I mean, good. Do you guys run the show for the next hour and a half?
So tonight you start bingo. Huh?
Yeah, pop culture.
Okay, good. So your guys there, so you don't need a fill-in.
No, we got the voice of the D-backs.
All right.
The DA guy does it.
Okay, perfect.
All right, replay rewinds next. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from my Toyota.
You applied to Grand Canyon University because you want somewhere fun and affordable, where hands-on classes and access to industry pros can help you build skills employers need, with the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years. You want to feel seen, loved, called to more, to know you found your purpose. Make yourself the main character. Begin your story. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for Titleist limited time loyalty reward and promotion. When you special order any 3 Titleist Pro V1, Pro V1X, or Pro V1X left dash or AVX dozen golf ball, you'll get another dozen free. Golf with more speed and shorthand control than ever before with the #1 ball in golf. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
If you own a home and need cash, you could unlock thousands of dollars from your home equity quickly and easily. Call LendGo today at 888-420-4556. At LendGo, you can find out how much cash you could get with a home equity loan in just 2 minutes. It's free. There's no obligation, and it won't affect your credit score. Use the money for anything. Pay off high-interest debt, make home improvements, or just give your budget some breathing room. Best of all, you keep your low mortgage rate while you're getting the cash you need. See how much you can get today. Call 888-420-4556. That's 888-420-4556. Or visit lendgo.com. That's LENDGO.com. Homeowners nationwide are doing it. Now it's your turn. Call 888-420-4556 today. LendGo, where homeowners go to get cash. 888-420-4556.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, Cats, rolling in the postseason. Dramatic win in the Big 12 tournament semi as Arizona beat Iowa State 82-80 on a buzzer beater from Jaden Bradley. Reached the conference championship with that game, and here is the winning call on that.
They're going to play it out. Remember, it's not just the first shot, it's the offensive rebound. Bradley trying to do it himself. He does. He hit it.
He was like, get out of my way. I'm taking this.
He took over.
I'm taking it, and contested shot as well.
It was highly contested. Iowa State, the only thing that they could have done would be to foul him. Then he would have gone to the free throw line.
Didn't they have a foul to get too?
It was a ballsy call for him. It was to take that type of shot.
But he is their leader.
Yeah.
He is their leader.
He's the guy you want to have the ball.
Yes, exactly.
And you nothing to lose. Tie game.
Yeah, it's a tie game.
Yeah. All right, here's the head coach, Tommy Lloyd. Says Wildcats are focused on how they approach the NCAA tournament.
We understand what the tournament is, and that it's an exciting thing for a lot of people. But there's spectators and there's participants, and we're participants. So we'll let you guys have all the fun with it. We just want to play games, and the one thing I know is the better story for you guys to write. There are better stories for you guys to write the longer we play, and the more games we play. So we're going to approach it one game at a time and go from there. We're not going to get out ahead of ourselves.
He's exactly right about that. I mean, he really is.
By the way, you look good today. You match. You got a black shirt and a black hat. Normally you got that rainbow.
I had to look around and see if you were talking about
usually
me.
got that rainbow
That golf hat.
Golf, not a golf hat.
Yes, it is. It says ping on it. It's a ping hat.
It's not really appropriate.
Yes, it is.
He does match. Kim must have dressed him well this
Oh, come on. Just
Dude,
look at
seriously,
you.
you got it today. You did well
Wow.
compared to normal.
Great shorts.
Do you have the Birkenstocks on?
No.
Black shoes as well,
Dude,
too.
You must have. Are you like hosting something at Sun Lakes tonight after? You like something going on? You're like some kind of dance going on or something.
You never know when your boy might get a phone call. I might have to perform tonight.
C25. All right, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm sure it was great. All right, here you can finish this one. I'm sure you're going to want to talk about the freshman class. That is the big narrative this year in college basketball. And here's the coach saying one of the biggest strengths of this team is the maturity of the young players.
Listen, I think those freshmen might be as mature as anybody in the whole group, and I think they're just wired that way. So, I mean, I'll obviously take stock this week and talk to them and watch them, and then figure out we need to have more pointed conversations. But no, they're really mature, competitive guys. So I think they'll be excited.
I think he's going to have to ask more from Koa Pete, who has kind of struggled so far in the last few weeks. Look, I know he's coming off that injury.
21 points.
That was just that. That was that game. He has struggled prior to that game, is what I'm saying. So you're going to have to get that kind of output from him more consistently in the tournament. Burries is he kind of lost his mojo a little bit for a couple of games. He is back, and to be honest with you, the young players that Tommy Lloyd has on this team, he is absolutely correct. They are no longer freshmen; they are men.
44 points, 54 points between those three in that Houston game.
Yeah, the Houston game.
That's it.
I mean, I just said that's one game.
It's one
prior
game.
to that.
But I mean, it's a nice time to have that.
Well, yes,
going
that's
into
why
the
I'm
tournament.
saying you're going to have to get that kind of output from those two freshmen in order to be successful.
All right,
That's
here he
my point.
is. Here he is again. The coach says he learned from past tournament experience and hopes that growth will help Arizona make a deeper run this March.
I'm way more settled in, than I was back then. Hopefully I'm a better coach than I was back then. And and I know this group is, I hope they feel the same excitement. And it'll be a good task for our staff this week to make sure that the energy and excitement is there for what's coming.
I mean, he makes a perfect point there that coaches grow into this. Look, Mike Krzyzewski, he grew into what he finally became as well. I mean, it just doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. You have to learn all the ins and outs of playing in the tournament and how you can push buttons, how your rotations change sometimes from game to game. And I think Tommy Lloyd has made that quantitative leap, and he's got to feel really comfortable going into this tournament.
All right. Of course, on Selection Sunday, debate always surrounds the teams that should or not good or shouldn't be, part of the tournament field. Bruce Pearl, who's trying to be relevant, believes his Auburn Tigers men's basketball team deserved its spot, even over SMU and the Mustangs. Here's Bruce Pearl on the Tigers deserving a March bid.
Auburn beat three champions this year. They beat Florida, they beat St. John's, and they beat Arkansas. They played the toughest schedule in the country. Don't know if they were rewarded for it. It's hard to get another couple of SEC teams in when the SEC already has 10. There's no question. You got to either win your way in or lose your way out. For me, you always say, okay, if you're going to put one in, who would you take out? For me, SMU with a 191 out-of-conference strength of schedule. That I don't know that they should have been rewarded. They only won 5 games away from home. And for me, it would have been either Oklahoma or Auburn taking that last spot.
All right. Sorry I had to watch it all.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, we're having some problems over here, Connor, if you can hear us. So that sound, sorry, that sound we were just playing was getting cut up here. So let's continue. That was Bruce Pearl talking about Auburn deserving March bid. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. Let's get into the World Base. I mean, the semifinal against Dominican Republic. And here's a little montage of some of the dingers.
The ninth pitch turns out, sends a fly ball right center field. Gunnar Henderson has tied it up. Blue. Right center field. Rodriguez and Tatis going back. Here it is gone. gives the U.S. the lead. To Perdomo. Here it is.
I felt like a World Series game or an All-Star game that actually had some meaning to it.
It's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
really
it's absolutely
theater is great.
I love it. I really do. And look, I know it's meaningless in the grand scheme of things. It's exhibition, but don't tell to try to win. It's awesome.
And Perdomo, too close to take. You got to swing at that bad boy.
It was a ball.
It was low, yeah, but I mean,
It was. You don't swing at that.
It was barely below the box.
But was it a ball?
Yeah, it was a ball.
Okay, then why swing?
But you can't, because
Why would you swing a ball?
Because the umpire, you don't know what his discretion was.
Come on, these
By
guys
the way,
play this for a living.
that umpire was very consistent with that call.
He was. He did call low ball strikes.
Low ball
he
strikes the
did.
entire game.
Yeah. All right, another dramatic moment came with Venezuela. Their national baseball team knocked out the defending champions.
2-1 pitch. Otani skies it. Venezuela has knocked out the reigning champs. They secure a spot in the Olympics, and they're headed to the WBC semis for the first time in 17 years.
All right, good stuff there. And one more. Italy also punched its ticket in the semifinals, and the Italian broadcast captured all the excitement.
Può esserti un'occhiata in seconda, caricamento, batte Rosario, alza una volata,
dentro,
adesso non rapito, l'Italia vola Miami, l'Italia è in semifinale al World Baseball Classic, è tutto vero Italia!
Wow!
Wow.
Yeah, baby, Italia.
You guys get, sports radio in Italy. They had, let's play the English first. And they get all excited like we do. Probably not, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Whenever we play the Mexico goals or any different language, we all love
it's
it.
great.
And I guarantee they don't love our
The
language.
excitement and accentuation.
All right, let's get one more. Following the recent loss, get some Suns post game here. The Suns say their stars need to focus on creating more offense for other teammates, not just scoring. Here's Coach Ott talking about Booker and Green.
Yeah, you could see it at the end. We tried to go to those two guys in the middle of the floor. Again, it's something that's probably we haven't touched a ton because of the reps, but that's something that we're going to need. We know all these games are going to come down to the end of the game. You want your two best players in the middle of the floor. Just creates you an advantage, especially with some space. Just got to figure out where to screen, how to screen. This was a good test tonight to go through it because that's, again, elite defense with elite perimeter defenders. So we'll take a look. It's a little blend of both with the pressure. It's a little bit matchup based. But yeah, I thought early Jalen had it going from three, and then we used the space for him. Thought he got downhill, even up, basically there to the end of the game.
I'm just thinking that they're in a tough spot right now. I look for the Celtics to win this game tonight. Then they have to get on the plane and go to Minneapolis and play the Timberwolves tomorrow night. And that's going to be a tough spot. You have to remember now, all of the good teams that they're playing are all playing to secure their spot in the playoffs. And Boston wants that number one spot in the East.
All right, today's Replay Rewind is brought to you by Lerner Row. Interact, need a check. Make one call. That's all. 202-977-1900. All right, Rudy Carpenter is going to join us next. We haven't talked to him since Kyler Murray officially was signed by the Minnesota Vikings, so we'll get his take on that right after last with this local ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks are hosting the Cincinnati Reds today in a spring training matchup at Salt River Fields. Ryan Nelson will get the start for Arizona. The first pitch is at 1:10 this afternoon. We will keep you updated with scores as that one rolls along. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns continue their road trip tonight as they head to Boston for a matchup with the Celtics. Tip-off is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. with pregame coverage beginning at 3:30 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This ESPN 620 Sports Center update is sponsored by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B live tomorrow at Biggs for St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate St. Patty's Day in the first games of March Mania with the guys. Enjoy green beer, brackets, and hoops with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live at Biggs tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. Rudy Carpenter will join the guys next.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Mania is back at Twin Peaks, and so is the Dose Millions Bracket Challenge. Fill out your bracket at twinpeaksbracketchallenge.com by March 19th at 9 a.m. for a shot at $2 million. The top bracket at every Twin Peaks wins a $50 gift card. Plus, grab $15 Dos Equis buckets all day Saturday and Sunday. Cold beer, wall-to-wall games, $1 million stakes. Enter now at twinpeaksbracketchallenge.com.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 480-990-3300. That's 480-990-3300.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at trajanwealth.com.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter, who went 3-0 against that team in Tucson.
Deep ball again by Rudy Carpenter. He reads it in zone coverage to find the safety.
Rudy Carpenter now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Hi, Rudy Carpenter joining us now on the right to the guest line. That's where we are today. Roc Manuch with Jimmy B. All right, Rudy, a two-parter for you to get started here. First, your reaction when you saw the Cardinals finally moving on from Kyler Murray. And then the second part of the question would be, from a football standpoint, do you think Minnesota is actually a good fit for Kyler?
Yeah, so my reaction about the Cardinals moving on from Kyler was I don't think I really had much of a reaction at all, because I thought it was really the only possible outcome, just based on his contract situation and where his money is at and where the money is. It didn't make any sense for anybody to trade for him and to give up any draft picks to try to get him. And of course, it didn't make any sense for the Cardinals to keep him either. I think to a certain extent, the Cardinals also, look at his, injury history, and I don't know, I'm sure there's some insurance backup that they had or whatever they had on his contract. And I'm sure there's some some ways the Cardinals can get some of that money back through some of the possible insurance policies that he had. I don't really know. But I was not surprised at all about that move. The only thing I was surprised about is that I was surprised there was a lot of fans out there that thought the Cardinals would go try to make some incredibly, wild move and spend a bunch of money on trying to bring in another quote-unquote franchise quarterback right away. I thought everybody would just kind of know, figure, and or understand that the smart move would be to release Kyler and go with Jacoby Brissett as your starter. So that was more surprising to me than anybody else. As far as Minnesota goes, I don't know. Kyler is an incredibly talented player from a speed standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, from a quick twitch and agility standpoint. At times he's got incredible arm talent. He's accurate, throws the ball well. He's got, good timing, anticipation at times. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be a successful quarterback in the NFL, it's all about decision making and it's all about processing information. And that's where Kyler has had a hard time. He's had a hard time just making the proper decision and consistently making the proper decision. He's so good and so athletic that he tries to make every play to a certain extent be a home run. I'll be interested to see if Kyler can be on a team that is a good team that gives him a chance to consistently play at least in a tie ball game situation or when they're winning. And I'm interested to see if that changes the way that Kyler plays. Does that make him more of a distributor? Does that make him more of a point guard type? Does that make him a guy that's more willing just to get completions and put the ball in play? And maybe the reason why we saw him play a little recklessly at times is because he was always trying to make the big play because they were always behind on the scoreboard. So, is Minnesota good enough to do that? I don't know. But I think they're a better football team than the Arizona Cardinals are right now.
And Rudy, you described what Kevin O'Connell does as far as running his offense. It's quick, it's get it out, it's drop back, temping, rhythm, tempo, timing, all the above. Tyler's really never done that. Kyler's never really done that before. So I guess I'm intrigued to watch the competition, number one. Number two, how Kyler handles this system. When you watch Matthew Stafford run it, you watch the Sam Darnold run that same system.
Yeah, again, I would be incredibly shocked if Kyler Murray, was not the starter of the Minnesota Vikings. If Kyler Murray is healthy, if he's healthy, I just don't see a way in which he's not the starter for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think that J.J. McCarthy is ready or is that dude. I understand the politics of it. I understand the Minnesota Vikings wanting to make and or force J.J. McCarthy into being the guy because of where they drafted him. But, if you bring in a guy like Kyler, to me, I think you're bringing in a guy like Kyler to start. I know they're going to say competition and J.J. McCarthy's competition and, blah, blah, blah. But to me, if you're bringing in Kyler, you're bringing him in to start. And, again, it's all going to come down to what it always comes down to. I don't care what offense you're in. They're all the same. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Kyler has to make good decisions with the football. He has to make good decisions. He has to get completion. He's got to put the ball in play and allow those receivers around him to make plays and do what they do. And to, those guys get paid as well. So give the ball to Jacobsen. Let him do what he does. Give the ball to Addison and let him do what he does. And it's going to be interesting to see if Kyler is willing to consistently make good decisions, to limit the negative plays, and to, try to play, on time, try to play ahead of the chain. And maybe he'll do that. Like I said, if he's in a situation where he does, I guarantee if you ask Kyler, one thing that he would say is that he probably felt like he was a one-man army with the Arizona Cardinals, and he thought everything was on his shoulders, and he thought it was up to him, essentially if they were going to win games, it was going to be all because of him and either the success or lack of success from him. And so it'll be interesting to see if he's on a team that is good and that is winning or in a position to win, and he's not playing from behind all of the time, to see if that does impact the way he chooses to play, or if he's going to continue to play the way that he's always been, which is, you know, every single play you got a chance for a big play, and trying to force every single play to be a big play. That's what he's done lately, so it'll be interesting to see.
Rudy Carpenter's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, there was a deal done today. The Kansas City Chiefs acquired Justin Fields, the quarterback for the New York Jets. They only gave up a 6th rounder. What does that tell you when the Cardinals tried to trade Kyler Murray, and maybe they couldn't even get a 6th rounder in doing that deal? First, your thoughts on Justin Fields going to Kansas City, and then your thought on they were unable to trade Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the phone last night with Darren Muji, who's the general manager of the New York Jets, you know, one of my good buddies, and obviously a Chaparral High School alum. We were talking on the phone last night. It was probably midnight this time, and he was just saying he's grinding, doing what they always do this time of year. With that being said, I don't really think there's any connection or I don't even think there's really any commentary that you can make in regards to the Justin Fields situation compared to Kyler Murray situation. I mean, people would trade a 1st-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, a 3rd-round pick. People would trade that for Kyler Murray. The reason why they didn't is because they don't have to. The contract is outrageous. So nobody is going to trade for that contract with the guy that's coming off of the knee injury he's coming off of. So those situations to me are entirely different. I mean, there's no reason for a team to give up a bunch of draft picks and then to take on this contract like when you don't need to. You could easily just do what everybody did, which was the Cardinals had no choice. They had no choice but to cut him. And when they do, they're on the hook for the vast majority of the money. And now Kyler can go somewhere, and that team, his new team, is going to essentially pay him the rookie minimum, which, again, is going to allow them to have a whole bunch of cap space. So, I don't really think those two, situations are tied together. I think it more speaks about Justin Fields and that, that's a guy who was a former 1st-round pick. He's only played with defensive-minded head coaches. It's his first time, I think, going to play for a head coach who's an offensive-minded guy. So I think that'll be interesting. But I think it more just goes to show that, around the league, people think that Justin Fields is only worth a 6th-round pick.
Rudy, before we let you go, just your overall thoughts on guard Minshew as the backup right now for Jacoby Brissett.
Who cares? If Gardner's playing, they got no chance to win anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean that with all due respect. I mean,
sure.
Gardner Minshew was a great player in college. He's, in my viewpoint, he's made it the hard way in the NFL. It's so hard to come into the NFL as a 5th or a 6th, 7th round pick, not only just to make a team, but to then become the starter and ultimately, someone who the NFL believes is a good enough spot starter at times. The NFL believes is worth anywhere from $7 to $10 million a year as a backup. I mean, that's incredibly hard. And so I respect Gardner for all that he's done and the position that he's in. But at the end of the day, the Arizona Cardinals had a hard time winning with Kyler Murray. And I think we all agree there was a point in time where Kyler Murray was playing at an MVP caliber. I mean, he was playing at one point at an MVP level. So, at the end of the day, if the Arizona Cardinals could not win with Kyler Murray, we saw last year they can't really win with Jacoby. Look, like if you get down to Gardner Minshew, you really have no chance. The Cardinals have this is an incredibly important draft for Monty Ossenfort and the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, touche. Rudy, great stuff as always, buddy. Have a good week. Thank you for your time today.
See you guys.
That's Rudy Carpenter. You can follow him on X at RudyGCarp12. And he's brought to you today by Twin Peaks, 5 Valley locations. This Thursday, we will be at Camelback location, and then Friday, we'll be at the Scottsdale location, all powered by Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer. Happy hour every day from 3 to 6. Don't miss the Michelob Ultra specials that kick off the weekend every Thursday. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and seating. All right, coming up, remember Bounty Gate on this day back in 2012 as the Saints got crushed with penalties. And you look at the Cardinals moving on from Kyler and enter what they're calling a reset. Is this the right kind of rebuild, the controlled kind, or are they still waiting to see the real direction of this franchise? Dive into that next. Roc Manuch, Jimmy B, Right Toyota.
Mania is back at Twin Peaks, and so is the Dose Millions Bracket Challenge. Fill out your bracket at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com by March 19th at 9 a.m. for a shot at $2 million. The top bracket at every Twin Peaks wins a $50 gift card. Plus, grab $15 Dos Equis buckets all day Saturday and Sunday. Cold beer, wall-to-wall games, $1 million stakes. Enter now at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Right Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Right Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Right Toyota. Right Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Right Toyota. Make the right choice, Right Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out righttoyota.com.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like. Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale. Hey, it's time to find that F-Series truck you want at a price you can't afford to miss because it is Ford Truck Month. Yep, and Ford Truck Month is about the only way that America's best-selling line of trucks for 49 years running gets better. Ford Truck Month at our Desert Ford dealers. Hey, Paul Galvez here. Man, we wait all year for these amazing offers. The Ford F-150. America counts on it. We get to drive it. And that's not all we get. Check out these savings. How about 0% APR for 60 months with zero down, zero payments for up to 90 days, plus $1,000 in truck month cash on a 2025 Ford F-150. We're talking on the job site, on the family camper, off-roading. F-150 trucks are icons of muscle and performance. And again, during Ford Truck Month, it's 0% APR for 60 months with zero down, zero payments for up to 90 days, plus $1,000 in truck month cash on a 2025 Ford F-150. But it all ends March 31st. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, on this day back in 2012, the NFL dropped the hammer on the New Orleans Saints in one of the biggest discipline cases in league history, Bounty Gate. After a lengthy investigation, Roger Goodell announced several penalties for a pay-for-injury program run by the Saints defensive staff. Sean Payton was suspended for the entire 2012 season. Defense coordinator Greg Williams was suspended indefinitely. Mickey Loomis, the GM, was suspended 8 games. The assistant coach Joe Vitt was suspended 6 games. They were fined $500,000, and the team lost second-round picks in 2012 and 2013. The league had concluded that the Saints ran this 3-year bounty program that rewarded defensive players for big hits and injuries to opposing players, and it was chaos for that organization. And a playoff contender suddenly lost its head coach for the entire season. But when you look at that moment in NFL history, it actually highlights something about what the Cardinals are right now. The Saints were dealing with league discipline, scandals, and forced to basically tear down overnight. Cardinals today, well, this is a controlled reset. They moved on from Kyler Murray. They bring back Jacoby Brissett, and they're trying to rebuild a roster in a patient way. The offensive line, defensive front, draft capital, cap flexibility. No scandal, no suspensions, of course, but the franchise is choosing to turn the page and rebuild right away. So the big question becomes now is does Cardinals reset the kind that leads to long-term stability, or are we just waiting to see the real direction of this franchise?
I'm not seeing anything where it's a wow factor to improve this team right now. If they're really banking on their building through the draft today, this year, it'd have to be that this year and next year, next couple of years. Michael Bidwell's got to realize that. I mean, he's built it. I mean, I think the only guy that really stands out, the guy could be it for a long time, is Siamalo, the guard, came from Pittsburgh. I mean, there's your line, and then Pryor's the backup, and then you got your situation quarterback. You got either it's a mess. I mean, you put yourself in this predicament. I mean, if you don't go after a top round pick this year, you're going to be able to do it next year. You have to. I think it all starts with who's the guy you get in the draft as your franchise quarterback, because all these other guys are just guys. I mean, they're just guys that kind of, I like rip the Band-Aid off, man. If you're going to go all in, go all in.
Seems like to me this is just Groundhog's Day again for the Arizona Cardinals. It seems like every March we have the same narrative.
Every 3 years.
There's I would say it's almost every other year. I would say every 3 years.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't go into last year thinking the team was going to win 9 games or 10 games.
We
knew
figured
this team was bad. We knew
thought
Kyler
about
Murray
7.
wasn't any good.
We figured anywhere from 7 to 10. If they're
Okay,
lucky.
but are they ever going to be over a 500 team?
No, I know what you're saying. You're saying, when do we ever figure a team has a great shot
Man,
at going to the playoffs?
It's a playoff
Exactly.
team. It's a wild card team. When do you have that discussion? We haven't in years.
And here's the thing that really edifies that, Rock, is when you see the LA Rams making the moves they're making in the offseason, you see Seattle, you see all these teams.
Okay, but they're different levels.
But
they've always been different levels.
Okay, they have.
Cardinals have been the same.
That's my point. The point is that you see a team like the Rams always there. They're always making moves to keep them at that tier. You never see this Cardinals team paying.
They're reloading every year.
And it's ad nauseum.
They're reloading.
It is Groundhog Day over and over. But they don't make the moves. And look at them. They haven't won a Super Bowl. I mean, they haven't won a championship 77 years. What's that say about the organization?
I bet it's a playoff.
Yeah, really. Well,
get into the playoffs.
I will say this, and people tend to forget about this, and I understand why they forget about it. Is one season, Kyler Murray had them 9-0, and they were rolling, and then they stumbled, and then they made it they finished 11-5. Got to the first round of the playoffs, and the Rams ran all over them. And then everybody went sour on Kyler right then.
Here's the thing, too, is they haven't been able to keep a good core nucleus of players together.
That's fair.
To say, okay, you're 11-5. Yeah. Let's keep those guys together. How can we help Kyler? Oh, Kyler wants a new contract? Oh, okay, so that's going to break the bank versus let's put Kyler on the back burner. Kyler, you'll get your money eventually. Let's keep this core nucleus of receivers, running backs, linemen, and defensive players in order to succeed. Because remember 98 when they finally won a playoff game? That next season, you had Simeon Rice leave. You had 3 or 4 guys leave. They could never keep the band together. Now, Bruce Arians is pretty good about keeping everybody together because I really believe that he had Michael Bidwell's ear about championship teams coming from Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. So he said, this is what we need to do if we're going to be, to your point, Rob, a contender every year. So, with Carson Palmer and that group of guys, yeah, they were probably a good chance, or they were going to go to the playoffs. Yeah, they were 14-1. The 14-2 going to that playoff game was Carolina, and Carolina hammered them because Carson Palmer got hurt.
Yep.
It was his name. Finley came in off of the San Diego Chargers practice squad, knew the offense, and they got smoked in Carolina.
Yeah, but what? 5 coaches in just over 10 years?
It's amazing.
Bruce Arians, Steve Wilkes, Cleve Kingsbury, Jonathan Gannon, now Mike LaFleur. 5 coaches in 10 years.
Yeah.
Bruce last year was 2017.
Yeah.
Yep. Then you have 1 year with Wilkes, you had 3 years with Kingsbury, 3 years with Gannon. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And I think
how do you run it, or how do you run a business?
Well, it's a faulty business besides what you're getting. I think that speaks volumes. And when a guy like Mike LaFleur took this job, I'm like, you sure you want to take this job based on that track record?
Well,
okay. Are you? How's
you're a coach?
Yeah, you
Just
want
like
it.
You want it. Plus, it's a challenge, right?
I get it, but how are you going to make chicken salad out of chicken? You know what? When you're not getting the type of players you need to win, you're not going to get by on bologna sandwiches. I'm telling you, it ain't going to work. And so that's what we see over the last 10 years. That's the pattern. That's the cycle. Until they can spend money for top-notch free agents, get top-notch recruits, and draft and keep them, this team will just be like this for years to come.
All right, still ahead. Casey Jacobsen from Fox Sports will join us. He was in the Madison Square Garden building over the weekend for St. John's and UConn. We'll get his thoughts about the bracket and ask him about Rick Pitino firing back at the selection committee over St. John's seed. And does the Big East actually have any right? And locally, we'll get his thoughts on the Wildcats. For the most part, the last month or two, we've had him on. He's all in on the Arizona Wildcats. We'll see if that is still the case. Plus, Craig Fouhy, and we'll get into our sports shuffle. That's all coming up in hour number 2. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either, because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Drew Brees here. Whether you're on the field or on the road, having the right team on your side makes all the difference. I learned that the hard way. On the field, you don't go anywhere without a solid O-line. And when your car breaks down, you want that same kind of protection. That's why I trust CarShield. Their protection plans help you tackle expensive repairs so that you're not blindsided.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Back to Wright Toyota on Frank Lloyd Wright, where the guys are live from 1 to 4. Wright Toyota, the right place, the right selection, and always the right dealership, and always open at wrighttoyota.com.
Devery, quick block from behind by Edgefor. Loose ball, Mitchell. Watch out. Hey, wow. Woo. Damn it, Mitchell.
Here we are. Mark Madison is here. And joining us now, Casey Jake from Fox Sports. You may have got him on television this weekend from Madison Square Garden with the St. John's UConn game. Casey, what is it about Madison Square Garden? What is it? What's so impressive to you of that facility?
Well, they call it the world's most famous arena.
Yeah.
And so you don't get a nickname like that if you don't have a history of everything, whether it be concerts, NBA basketball, and college basketball. The Big East has been around for a lot of years, and it's gone through a lot of iterations, right? The current state of the Big East doesn't have Syracuse in it like it did in years prior, but there's been so many big-time battles over the years in that venue. And I would just say, like, the New York, I've been covering that tournament for, I think, 6 years in a row now, and I get to go there and be on the floor. And I've covered other conference tournaments as well, and none of them have the atmosphere. New York people love college basketball. They love it. And for St. John's, who was really irrelevant, I've been covering college basketball now this is my 12th season. And when I first came on the scene, St. John's was irrelevant. They were floundering as a program. They get Rick Pitino to rebuild that program 3 years ago, and now it's back. And the St. John's people there just absolutely love it, support it. That was a great atmosphere, and St. John's delivered. They're really good at home, and second year in a row they've been able to win the regular season and the postseason tournament. It's never been done in Big East history, so pretty big deal for the Johnnies.
So with Coach Pitino saying the Big East got disrespected by the selection committee, for what you saw and the bracket, does he actually have a case, or is that just classic Pitino basically working the media?
Yeah, that's classic Pitino working the media. I don't blame him at all. If I was him, I'd be doing the same thing. Here's the thing. So St. John's gets a 5 seed in the tournament, and the biggest reason why that is St. John's went 0-4 against ranked opponents in the non-conference. This St. John's team was ranked number 5 in the preseason. So before it all began, they had high expectations, and deservedly so. They had talent. They have Rick Pitino. That combination is, that'll get you a number 5 ranking. But when you don't take care of your business, you lost to Alabama, Iowa State, Auburn, who was ranked at the time, and Kentucky, then you don't have a non-conference resume. So they did figure it out. They started playing well in Big East play, and then they beat UConn. They split with UConn, beat them at home, lost them on the road, and then the rubber match was at Madison Square Garden, their home arena, and they won. So they have 2 ranked wins, both of them at Madison Square Garden, both against UConn. That to me is about a 5 seed. I don't think they got disrespected. I think that resume-wise, they're right where they belong. Are they a better team than a 5 seed than the other 5 seeds around? You can make that argument. I would hear that. But as far as resume, they're where they belong.
And then, Casey, watching the SEC, you talk about coaches with Calipari in Arkansas whooping up on the Vanderbilt Commodores. And you have a chance to watch some of these guys more intimately. You hear about Darius A. Cup Jr., but damn, what a player this kid is, and you watch him kind of carry this Arkansas team. But when you watch his teams over the years, does it surprise you they win that SEC, does it?
No. John Calipari is known as one of the best recruiters in the country. He's a very good coach as far as getting his talent to play with each other. They always play hard on defense. They're not always the most buttoned up, like all the way up, but that's okay. I think Calipari's done a nice job of making Arkansas relevant. Speaking of St. John's, St. John's lost in the second round of the tournament to Arkansas last season. So, but you mentioned Darius Acup. One of the more interesting conversations that I've had with some of my colleagues, and I hear college basketball fans having amongst each other is Darius Acup Jr., who's the 6'3" point guard for Arkansas right now, the best guard in college basketball that John Calipari has ever coached, recruited, or developed. He's coached Derrick Rose at Memphis, John Wall, Jamal Murray at Kentucky. And I would say statistically, the answer is yes. Acup Jr. is better than all those guys. Now, he hasn't played in the NCAA tournament yet, okay, but still 23 points per game and almost 7 assists a game is far better than all those other guys that I mentioned. And if we're just talking about college basketball, Darius Acup has been as consistent of a star outside of Cameron Boozer and maybe AJ DiBonsa at BYU. I would put him as the third most impressive individual talent in college basketball this season. Can he lead Arkansas to the Final Four? I do think it's possible, yes.
Kenny, take me to Kentucky, Casey, and this is where I want to begin because they spent more money than anybody, $20 million in NIL. They really have got nothing for it. Mark Pope, the coach, is in trouble. They sneak into the tournament as a 7th seed. They get Santa Clara early. Broncos are not bad. But if Kentucky advances, they're going to get number 2 Iowa State, and it'll be lights out. My question is, if indeed you spend $20 million, the fans have got to be really upset if you don't make it at least to the Elite Eight. And secondly, would that cost Pope his job?
All right, so first, and I don't want to make a ton of excuses for Kentucky. When you spend that amount of money, yes, you should be better than a 7th seed. You should be better than a record of 21 wins and 13 losses. I get it. However, if we're going to have an honest conversation about it, we have to mention that 2 of their would-be starters have been out for almost the entire season with injuries. Jalen Lowe, he's a 6'3" point guard. He's only played in 9 games this season and hasn't played in over a month. He's been out. And then Jaden Quaintance, the transfer from Arizona State, he's a 6'10", big guy who was on a lot of NBA draft boards, possibly, has only played in 4 games. And so, you have 2 guys who play 2 of the more important positions, point guard and center, not playing. And what could this Kentucky team really need or use? A point guard and a center. Like Otega Owate's been their best player. He's a 6'4" guard, but he's a slasher. He's a driver. He's not a point guard. And they really don't. They have a 7-footer, Malachi Moreno, but, he's a freshman. And they've needed those positions. So we have to mention that. And then the second part of your question was if they don't win, which I don't project them to do so in my bracket, will it cost Mark Pope his job? The answer to me is no way, not right now. There's a lot of money still, like there would be a large buyout. You can say, yeah, but Kentucky doesn't care about that. I do think that eventually you do care about your reputation, that you're not going to move on after a coach after just 2 years or whatever. I think that's a real thing. So, I would say that Mark Pope's job is safe for now.
Casey, you're going to be there at Oklahoma City, and you've got the Houstons and Nebraskas, and you're looking at Florida, what have you, and I'm not Florida, but you're looking at that area. Houston going to be a little motivated that they got that Florida stuck in the back door on them as the number 1 seed. You think there'll be a little motivation there with the Houston Cougars?
Kelvin Sampson needs no motivation. This guy is like whether they were playing the Phoenix Suns or the LA Lakers in the second or third round or the Florida Gators. Like they play their way. they play one game at a time. And I know it's cliche, but that's what he does. And to me, like Mark Few, Kelvin Sampson, probably the two best coaches. Maybe Matt Painter, throw him in there. The best coaches, like in college basketball, that have yet to win a national championship. Kelvin Sampson's been knocking on the door. This Houston team's absolutely there. They have a chance. They are a little bit younger than Houston's teams in the past, and one of the biggest surprises to me was Kingston Flemings. He's their point guard. He's a freshman. I knew that Kingston Flemings was good. He's a top 25 five-star recruit, but I just didn't think he would be the best player on the team and the go-to guy, and he has been. And I say that because they have an old backcourt. Emmanuel Sharp played in that national title game last year. Milos Uzman played in the national title game against Florida last year. So, but it's been Fleming, their best player. So I am really rooting for a rematch of that title game in the Elite Eight in that South region. I have that predicted in my bracket, and I have Houston moving on. I have Houston in my Final Four personally.
Okay, this one is local, ASU. Bobby Hurley out. They're looking for a coach, Casey. I thought of Randy Bennett right away at St. Mary's. All that guy does is win, and he wins consistently at St. Mary's. He's from the Valley, but he's 63. Is that too old? Would they not go after him? Do they want some young up-and-coming guy that they think would work better?
It's a great question. I've known Randy Bennett since I was 14 years old when he was an assistant coach at University of San Diego, and he coached my brother. That's why I know him since when I was like in 8th grade. Randy's awesome. 63 years old. Do you guys want to take a guess on how old Rick Pitino is?
75. I think he's like 73. I'll try 73.
He's 73. Okay, so he's 73 and still crushing it. Okay, so it's not a matter of age. It's a matter of how much desire, passion you have for the sport. Do you want to retire or do you want to keep going? Rick Pitino obviously wants to keep going. If the answer for Randy Bennett is I want to keep going, improving myself and growing, then the answer is absolutely you should go after him. You should want him. But the question, I think the better question is, would Randy Bennett want that job? It is interesting to note, and we can move on after this. Gonzaga is leaving the WCC. And so now, and St. Mary's is not. St. Mary's is staying. They would be the de facto king of that conference. And so it's almost like pretty much a guarantee, if you ask me, that they will be winning that conference every year. So he'll be able to continue to play in NCAA tournaments on a year-to-year basis. If he comes to ASU, they're in the Big 12. They're one of the bottom teams in the Big 12. Can you get to the tournament on a year-to-year basis? Probably not likely. So that's the question that Randy Bennett or any, established coach would be asking themselves.
Case, last one, and as always, man, thank you for always making time for us, man. We really appreciate you here in your town here in Phoenix. When it comes to Arizona Wildcats, you've been high on them all year. Still pretty high on them?
Oh, you bet. I have them in my Final Four, yeah.
Yep. Good. All right. And you have them winning it all?
I don't. I have them losing to Michigan. Michigan's just had an extra gear offensively and defensively that other teams just don't, and I'm including Arizona and Duke and Houston and Florida in that. But can I just mention Arizona? I'm fascinated by what the Wildcats are doing, and I'm fascinated because of how they win. Not that they win, but how they're doing it. Two ways. They don't need the three. They can shoot it if you make them, but they don't need it. They rank 358th in the country in three-point attempts per game. That's bottom 10 in America, yet they beat Florida. They beat UConn. They beat Houston, all without making a lot of threes. That, to me, is so bizarre, unusual, that I love it. I just love that they have their own unique style. And the other thing is they start three freshmen, and there's only been one team in the history of college basketball that has won a national championship starting three freshmen. That was Kentucky back in 2012 with Anthony Davis. Duke had three freshmen in their starting lineup last season with Cooper Flagg, but remember, they lost in the Final Four to Houston. So if Arizona cuts down the net, they will do so in a very unique way, a way that only one team has ever done it before.
Great stuff as always, Casey. We'll be watching, man. Thanks for the time.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
That's Casey Jacobsen, Fox Sports Television. You probably saw him on TV the other day from Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament. He's part of today's Hardwood Report, which is powered by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Now featured every Thursday at all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. We'll be at the Camelback location on Thursday, Scottsdale on Friday. Enjoying all of the March. All right, coming up, the sports shuffle. Of course, the bracket's out. Murray is still a Viking and still the talk of the town. Team USA heading to the WBC final, and there's more than 200 million riding on the March Madness wins, and a monster win at the Players' Championship, and a brutal injury to a local kid in the NHL. Get into that next. Roc Manuch, Jimmy B, Mike Toyota.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with a perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
This is Jason Schechterly, former Phoenix police officer. There's nothing more important to a first responder than focusing on their mental health. And there's nothing better for that mental health than golf, friends, music, drinks, food, and fun. Join us for the Heroes Golf Classic Tournament at the Weston Kierland Golf Course on Friday, May 8th. If you're not a golfer, show up for the after party and benefit concert with the best cover band in Arizona, Rock Lobster. Proceeds are going to benefit the 100 Club of Arizona. The 100 Club provides support for our first responders through critical incidents, injury prevention, mental health, and scholarship. Every day, our public safety members put their lives on the line, and we are their backup. So come out and join us on May 8th. To register, go to our website, 100club.org, and click on the events page. Again, 100club.org. Click on the events page, register for the tournament, and we will see you on May 8th.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. Right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Mania is back at Twin Peaks, and so is the Dose Millions Bracket Challenge. Fill out your bracket at twinpeaksbracketchallenge.com by March 19th at 9 a.m. for a shot at $2 million. The top bracket at every Twin Peaks wins a $50 gift card. Plus, grab $15 Dos Equis buckets all day Saturday and Sunday. Cold beer, wall-to-wall games, $1 million stakes. Enter now at twinpeaksbracketchallenge.com.
Back to Wright Toyota on Frank Lloyd Wright, where the guys are live from 1 to 4. Wright Toyota, the right place, the right selection, and always the right dealership, and always open at wrighttoyota.com.
All right, Selection Sunday, of course, delivered some big headlines yesterday. The men's bracket finally revealed Arizona, Duke, Michigan, and defending champion Florida grabbed the number 1 seed. We saw Auburn, Oklahoma, San Diego State, Indiana left out of the first 4 And beyond the matchup, there's real money attached to this thing. And Front Office Sports is reporting that the NCAA's conference unit system will pay out more than $220 million in the men's tournament and about $20 million for the women's tournament. So every bid, every win is literally worth millions of dollars to the conferences and the schools. And that also ties into one of the other weekend biggest bracket storylines, what they call the bid stealing, right? The surprise conference tournament run by like VCU and Akron, right? Squeeze the bubble and help shut the door on schools like Auburn. So when people say March chaos, it's not just the emotion, it's the financial part of it too. You know, I understand ESPN, this is their time with their bracket and, 20 million people, whatever the number will be this year. Well, again, I don't know if I can.
Why can't you?
Because it has to do with women's sports and I'll get in trouble.
Who's going to yell at you?
I understand that ESPN needs to push both tournaments.
They do.
I don't need it wrapped on the TV 24/7.
Oh, of the women's tournament.
I agree.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like you look and you kind of sometimes get lost. And you say, oh, my God, Carolina's playing, whoever. And you're like, oh, no, it's the women's.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. They try so hard to make it interesting, relevant. And it's, I can say it over and over and over. Caitlin Clark, whatever. It's still not relevant, at least to me. And now to you two, it may be, but to me, it's not. I cannot even remotely watch 1 minute of these analysts trying to break down women's basketball.
And Roc, I agree with you. I concur with you. Matter of fact, the thing was really disappointing. I'm out there all day yesterday. I wrap up at 7. And what you know, ESPN, they're having I'm anxious to hear what everybody said about the men's bracket.
Yep.
What do they have? From 7 to 8. It took about 45 minutes to get home. It's the prime time on the radio.
Yes.
Women's bracket breakdown. And I'm like you, Roc. I don't, I'm nothing against it, but I've been out all day. I'm anxious to hear about the men.
Yep.
I saw who won or lost. I checked, but I'm like, okay, let me hear what whoever the guys on the radio are breaking it down. And it's a women's bracket breakdown.
And if you're a gambler, you can take South Carolina, UConn. Sure. It's the same schools,
it is,
right?
It's
women, chalk for women,
pretty much.
And
it's just give it to South Carolina or whoever, UConn.
And they were going, well, so and so and so and so. And I'm happy that ASU women are made to play in at least.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. But I mean, it was like,
Roc, come on, Roc, you're a big Molly Miller fan.
I'm listening here and I go to the other station and I'm hearing NASCAR. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I want to I got 45 minutes to get home. I want to hear the scoop. I want to hear what's going on. And then, I feel you.
I mean, there's a reason why the NCAA's $220 million to $20 million.
Exactly.
If people aren't paying or sponsoring it, it's not relevant. I'm sorry for those of you that have girls that play basketball.
More power to you.
My sister was a great player. I used to rep women's basketball. I mean, I love the sport. Sure. I mean, it's great, but when it comes to professional, I'm sorry, man, I can't watch it. And I know NCAA it's not professional, but it really is now. So when people say it's amateur sports, it's no longer.
I understand what you're saying too. You're turning on ESPN to see all the mid stuff. It's like, well, look, you're not going to get your main entree for an hour. We want you to have spinach today. I want spinach. I want my main entree now. And it's kind of like
it needs to capitalize on the moment.
Exactly.
Not throw in women's basketball.
I don't because
here's the thing: is I know we're not being politically correct, and I apologize. And if I'm offending anybody, I'm not trying to. But I think there's 95% of the other people out there
I would agree.
are agreeing with what I'm saying, but they won't go on record.
Yeah. It's we don't want to offend anybody. Well, I'm not offending anybody. It's that I don't. It's like
it's your personal.
My personal.
So great about the stretch. You like what you like, and if I want to watch women's basketball, I'm not going to watch it.
And
I wish there was a WESPN or whatever it is, and it's the W, and that's where all women's sports are.
They fly
okay.
Yeah, but
so they got to force it to us.
Work. Yes, exactly.
Didn't fly. But the other thing about the amount of money that's been made by the NCAA men's. It's now you know why. And my question for you, Roc, the marketing business guy, the money they put these kids in through NIL, it sounds like the return, if you get whether you get to the tournament or deep in the tournament, is going to pay off with the money coming back to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you're paying that
the
kid,
more wins, the more money.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that money you're putting into these young men, the 4 or 5 you're paying, or 6, or all of them, you're going to get that in return. That dividend's going to be huge. And you talk about Kentucky with the amount of money they put into
$20 million.
He's got to hope they go deep, and they're still going to make money out of their playing. At least they made the tournament.
Yeah.
So they're going to get that money back in that side.
On the golf side, Cameron Young won the Players Championship at 13 under, driving the biggest win of his career. A wild finish there in Sawgrass. That was a lot of fun. He beat Matt Fitzpatrick by 1, birdie to 17 when it mattered most. And then he just hit a 375-yard drive on 18, the longest recorded there on that short link here since the short link era when they started, actually doing that. And that was one of those Sunday finishes that immediately becomes a career-defining moment for Cameron Young, who's just a good dude. That was a good win. But everybody likes Fitzpatrick, too. Yeah. And he had the lead there towards the end.
Well, Young was making a lot of noise at the Palmer. He was in the hunt at the Palmer, and they said he was due. Did he have like a wedge in to 18?
It could have been.
Gap wedge?
Yeah, because he hit it up on the crowd.
Right.
And then it rolled right down by the pin about 8 feet away. And then he made the putt.
Crushed.
Real quick, in the NHL, the Maple Leafs got crushed by the news that Austin Matthews here from Scottsdale is out for the season. He had a D-on-D hit. And the guy that hit that got a 5-game suspension. But man, Toronto can't get a break.
They can't.
I was poking some fun at our friends up north. As
you imagine that. Oh, Roc.
Well, a friend of mine sent me this, and I just thought it was somewhat comical because Canada is our friend, right? I mean, clearly,
our friends.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and you're gonna find it. I can't find it.
We love the Canucks.
And I got this text that said Canada lost this year, and they lost the Stanley Cup. Yeah, lost to Edmonton, lost in 6. World Series, Toronto lost in 7. The Olympic women hockey lost in overtime. Yeah, to USA. The men's lost to overtime. Yeah, to USA. And 0 Super Bowls. And the World Baseball Classic, they lost in the quarterfinals.
That's unbelievable. Here's
I was sending it to all my buddies today. Like, Canadian buddies. They're like, you're
so great.
You can add another one because the hockey team for the United States, the physically challenged USA team, beat Canada, disabled 6-2 in the final. Yeah. So you're right. It's been a rough year.
The Paralympics.
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow we're going to be out at Biggs in Peoria, P83. We're going to enjoy some green beer and some brackets and some hoops. Should be a lot of fun. It's St. Patty's Day out at Biggs, so we'll be there beginning at 1. All right, up next, we'll play Fact or Fouhy with ABC 15's Craig Fouhy. But here's, or no, we're not Laz. Laz, you can do an update, or you're just going to hang on your phone?
Today sometime there, Laz?
Why don't we, Connor, we just got to sit down. He's been on his phone.
Jeez, on Friday.
Check it
I
out.
got nowhere to sit over here.
Got a show going on.
Got to get off the feet a little bit.
All right, so here's Slad with a ESPN 6 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks are hosting the Cincinnati Reds today in the spring training matchup at Salt River Field. Ryan Nelson got the start for Arizona. The first pitch of that one was at 110, and we will keep you updated with scores as that one continues to roll along. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns continue their road trip tonight as they head to Boston for a matchup with the Celtics. Tip-off is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. with pregame coverage beginning at 3:30 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This ESPN 620 Sports Center update is sponsored by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live tomorrow at Biggs for St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate St. Patty's Day in the first games in March Mania with the guys. Enjoy green beer, brackets, and hoops with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. Live at Biggs tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. We will see you there.
Mania is back at Twin Peaks, and so is the Dose Millions Bracket Challenge. Fill out your bracket at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com by March 19th at 9 a.m. for a shot at $2 million. The top bracket at every Twin Peaks wins a $50 gift card. Plus, grab $15 Dos Equis buckets all day Saturday and Sunday. Cold beer, wall-to-wall games, $1 million stakes. Enter now at TwinPeaksBracketChallenge.com.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Here's what's different about GCU. It's one of the country's biggest universities with over 360 programs shaped by industry leaders. GCU's campus ranks among the top in the nation. Most of all, GCU cares about affordability. The average federal and private loan debt for GCU undergrads is lower than the average for private nonprofit four-year universities. Find your purpose at GCU. Visit gcu.edu.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Sleep isn't just rest, it's restoration. Poor sleep can increase your risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Getting 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night helps your brain clear toxins and stay sharp. Research shows that up to 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed by addressing risk factors, including lack of sleep. Tonight, give your brain the rest it deserves. Learn more at alz.org/healthy habits. This message is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association and the Arizona Department of Health Services.
It's time for Fact or Fouhy with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy. Fouhy joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now, here's ABC 15's Craig Fouhy.
All right, let's dive right to it with ABC 15's Craig Fouhy. But before we do that, how's your Monday afternoon treating you, Billy?
So far, so good, man. I tell you, I was up on the Oregon coast last week for a little football reunion and college guys, and man, it was ugly weather up there. So I'm happy to be home.
So kind of it's like, peel the curtain back when you do a reunion. I'm a little younger than you. I'm just curious. I mean, what do you guys talk about? I mean, what do you guys eat or drink? I mean, what goes on in that era?
Mark, I'll tell you what, it is a bunch of old guys sitting around, and every story is 10 times bigger today than it was back then.
Yep,
right. Remember when we did this? I don't think we did it quite. No, we did. Yeah, you remember. Half the guys in the room can't hear, so they got hearing aids going. The other half are drinking. They're drunk. They don't understand what we're even talking about. It's just a bunch of old guys getting around laughing most of the time for 3-4 days. So it was a blast.
Well, will you believe what you got away with back in those days, boy?
I know, it's crazy. No cell phones, no internet, no ESPN. I mean, it was awesome.
It was wonderful. It was great. It was so much better. I don't think the kids realize it. No way.
Right?
All right. Factor Fouhy. 5 questions with ABC 15's Craig Fouhy, Sports Director. All right. Question 1, Factor Fouhy. Arizona earned its number 1 seed and has a real Final Four path. Factor. Yeah, it's an easy one to start.
Is that a real question?
Sure.
Yeah.
You're on
They're
vacation.
30. Stop it. They're 32-2 on the season. I mean, how do you argue that one? They won the Big 12 conference regular season, which I would argue is the toughest conference in college basketball, and they won the Big 12 tournament. So how do you not accept that they are the best team in the West? Certainly, and I think they've got a clear shot at the Final Four and winning the entire thing.
All right, Coach, question number 2. With that, we'll factor Fouhy. Duke is still the most dangerous team in the bracket, equal with Arizona as the number 1 seed. Fact or proof?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a fact. And I didn't Duke come in as the 1 overall seed?
Yes,
I think it was Duke and then Arizona. Yeah, so, but listen, it's going to be a great battle. I think Arizona has a great bracket, by the way. That West looks much easier than the South. But I'm happy that they got where they're at. And then you look at what they have in that bracket, and it's not terrible for them. So I'm thinking they're going to get through that. Now, we all know what's happened to Arizona in the past, right? They've struggled under Tommy Lloyd to get past the Sweet 16, but I think they have a real shot. So I'm looking forward to watching them go, and hopefully they make it all the way to Indianapolis.
All right, Fouhy, once again, I remind you, I did not write the questions. My dude.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Jimmy B.
Here we go. NBA. Jalen Green has become the most important X factor on the Suns outside of the obvious stars. Factor X
outside of the obvious stars.
Yeah, whatever that means.
The only obvious star would be Devin Booker.
Then why do you say that?
I just put it.
Hey, you know what? I'm telling you what. These questions are unbelievable. They are awesome.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
These are so good. No, they're so good, Manuch. I'm telling you what, this is so much fun for me because it makes it really easy on me on Monday. I can take a Sunday where I work really hard, and then I'm launching the week on Monday, and it's like, you know what? This is a pretty good start to this. Yeah, Jalen Green is unbelievable. Now, I would say that Dylan Brooks has been the X factor this year, and now that he's broken his hand, he's out for a few more games. Jalen Green is filling in, but if you're looking at the season in total, I would say it's Dylan Brooks. If you're looking at right now, I would say it's Jalen Green. But this team right now, I think they're a solid 7, and they're pretty close to being, a 5 or 6 last I checked.
All right, this question I think is solid.
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett is good enough to keep Arizona respectable in 2026. Back
Oh, excuse me.
Doc on it.
Hold on a second.
And I'm good enough.
Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. Yeah, I think at last check, Las Vegas has the Cardinals at 4.5 wins.
Yeah.
Look, it's Jacoby Brissett. Did Drew Petzing's offense look better with Jacoby under center? Yes. But that's because Drew Petzing had no idea how to create an offense designed around Kyler Murray. So he needed a 6'4", 240-pound traditional quarterback. Let's go back to the 70s and 80s, and let's get a quarterback under center and run play action, and let's run the ball down their throat. That's Drew Petzing's offense. In Detroit, God bless him, have him. Go ahead, take Drew Petzing and go. Jacoby Brissett will be fine. I like Jacoby Brissett. He's a great guy, but he's a journeyman that's been on 7 or 8 different teams in 10 years, and that's what he is. He'll keep us respectable, but this team is still not going to knock the doors off anybody in the NFC West. Let's be honest.
So that's a Fouhy?
That's a Fouhy on that night, and I'm hoping that Mike LaFleur figures out. I just think they've tied Mike LaFleur's hands behind his back on this deal, where you didn't go out and find a quarterback. Now, maybe they take a shot at a Ty Simpson in the second round, or maybe they move up into the late first round and try to take Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Clearly, it wasn't a great free agent market for quarterbacks. So you had what you had, and they ended up with Gardner Minshew, who was the backup in Kansas City before he hurt his knee. Fortunately, he didn't tear any ACLs. But this is what it is, you guys, right now. Just take a deep breath. I know it's optimism. It's hopium right now for Cardinal fans. Just put the brakes on. Calm down. We're looking at another 4-win season.
All right, Coach, last one. Factor for ASU's basketball's next hire has to be someone with deep Arizona ties. Fact.
Oh, stop.
I'm with you, Fouhy.
Stop Fouhy on that. Listen, every time ASU football opened up, everybody in this state, Danny White. that's the distance that people can see. That's about as far as they can see. Somebody got to have Arizona ties. It's got to be a Kenny Dillingham who went to ASU. Stop it. Just stop. Just stop all that crap, because I've heard it for years with Danny White. And then we go hire a football coach. Nobody even knew who Kenny was. He was a GA at ASU. But he came in at 32 years old or whatever it was, and he's done a great job. I think Graham Rossini is going to try and find somebody like that, like a Kenny Dillingham, like a Molly Miller, someone that's young, with enthusiasm, that he's either an up-and-comer like a Kenny Dillingham was as an offensive coordinator, or he's going to be a guy with some lower division experience, maybe a guy that's really got a positive attitude and upbeat and ready to handle this transfer portal and NIL. But in terms of Arizona ties, stop it. I don't have any Arizona ties other than I've lived here for 28 years, but you don't have to have Arizona ties to come into this. This is a junkyard for basketball. This is a terrible place for basketball. And somebody's going to have a big eye and a big heart and a lot of enthusiasm and try and get this over the hump, because they don't have a great arena. And I know they're going to try and remodel it over the next 5 years, but it's still Desert Financial Arena. And you've got to play against a team down south, number 1 seed in the West. Yep. This is going to be. Forget Arizona though. I'm fed up to my eyebrows with got to have Arizona ties. Stop it.
Between the Cardinals and the ASU basketball team, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to get you all fired up for the 3 minutes you got tonight.
No, I've been listening to all the hopium with the Cardinals for the last month now. About free agency and what they're going to do at quarterback, what they're going to do at this position. This is the same team. They've had 7 winning seasons in 38 years, and we all get excited at this time of year. Then wait till the draft; it'll be even more exciting, and then we'll be let down come September, October, November, December.
Fouhy, I'm with you 100% on hiring people just because they're from the area. You gotta find somebody that could come in and resurrect ASU basketball and at least get them competitive in the Big 12.
But guys, folks, it doesn't happen unless you got NIL to narrow. Go even compete in that arena.
I know. No, this is, and I said it earlier. We're talking about Arizona. I think the Big 12 is the best college basketball conference in the country, and now you're going to try and bring somebody into ASU that's perennial, a second fiddle to Arizona in basketball since at least the 90s. And so now you've got a big uphill climb when you've got to have some money in your back pocket for NIL and revenue share, and then the transfer portal. You're rebuilding a team every year in college basketball. It's crazy.
So, Fouhy, with the weather hitting 100, are you going to lose like 30 seconds to a minute in sports?
Roc, I'm telling you what, your background in television, we got weather action days coming up, man. Get ready. And what we're going to say is it's hot.
Yeah.
It's really hot. And put on your sunscreen and drink lots of fluids.
You got it. Oh, we love you, Fouhy. All right, buddy. Thank you. Have a good week.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, you do.
That's
Later.
ABC 15's Craig Fouhy on sports, of course. Coming up, everyone loves filling out a March Madness bracket, but history says if you want to win, start with the top seeds. Nearly 2/3 of national champions have been number 1 seed. We're going to break down the numbers, but next, before I do that, I'm about to say something that might make some people mad during March Madness. Everybody loves filling out a bracket. Let's be honest. Nobody cares about your freaking bracket. Get into that. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from Right Twitter.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Swing into Advanced Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for Titleist limited time loyalty reward and promotion. When you special order any 3 Titleist Pro V1, Pro V1X, or Pro V1X left dash or AVX dozen golf ball, you'll get another dozen free. Golf with more speed and shorthand control than ever before with the #1 ball in golf. Advanced Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting.
Have you ever been to Rodizio Grill? Let me tempt you. Start your Rodizio experience with our hot, unlimited appetizers. Indulge on our award-winning gourmet salad bar with over 35 items. Then, 16 delicious, sizzling, rotisserie grilled meats and grilled items like our tender top sirloin and Rodizio's signature glazed pineapple, as much as you'd like. Rodizio Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Located in Mesa, North Scottsdale. Hey, it's time to find that F-Series truck you want at a price you can't afford to miss because it is Ford Truck Month. Yep, and Ford Truck Month is about the only way that America's best-selling line of trucks for 49 years running gets better. Ford Truck Month at our Desert Ford dealers. Hey, Paul Galvez here. Man, we wait all year for these amazing offers. The Ford F-150. America counts on it. We get to drive it. And that's not all we get. Check out these savings. How about 0% APR for 60 months with zero down, zero payments for up to 90 days, plus $1,000 in truck month cash on a 2025 Ford F-150. We're talking on the job site, on the family camper, off-roading. F-150 trucks are icons of muscle and performance. And again, during Ford Truck Month, it's 0% APR for 60 months with zero down, zero payments for up to 90 days, plus $1,000 in truck month cash on a 2025 Ford F-150. But it all ends March 31st. Just click buyfordnow.com.
Back to Wright Toyota on Frank Lloyd Wright, where the guys are live from 1 to 4. Wright Toyota, the right place, the right selection, and always the right dealership, and always open at wrighttoyota.com.
All right, coming up in hour number 3 o'clock hour. We're right out of the gate. We'll catch up with former NAU head basketball coach Mike Aegis. And then we'll talk some football with Frank Sanders. All right. I'm going to say something right now that might make some people. What's new? I mean, I don't know if I should play this. What's new? Do I need a disclaimer on this? Because I'm going to be a jerk.
Well, it's just your opinion, Rock. It's just your feeling.
I love the disclaimer. Go ahead, play.
Should we play the
disclaimer?
Well,
yeah,
with you. By host, guests, or callers on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B do not reflect the opinions or endorsements of ESPN 620, Bonneville International, any sports teams affiliated with this station, or any individuals associated with the station. The broadcasts of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are intended for entertainment purposes, and listeners are encouraged to use their own judgment in forming conclusions. The ownership of the radio station does not confirm or deny the validity or accuracy of the information aired on this program. All content, products, and services presented are meant for enjoyment. We encourage keeping an open mind and not interpreting the presenting stories, facts, or services as absolute truth. In other words, we invite you to relax, not to be so PC, and enjoy the ride with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, this is all beat Rock completely. Okay. Not you two. Everyone loves filling out a bracket. I do it. You do it. Everybody does it. Part of the fun of the tournament. But let me tell you something. No one actually cares about your freaking bracket. Seriously. Outside of your office pool, maybe a couple of your buddies, maybe some stupid group text you got stuck on that you can't get out of now. Nobody is emotionally invested in your picks. Every year, it's the same thing. Bracket comes out, suddenly everybody becomes a college basketball expert, right? Now everyone's talking about 12-5 upset and the Cinderella sleeper from a conference they didn't even watch all season long. Couldn't even tell you what their mascot is. And then the team that's going to bust everybody's bracket, they're going to tell you who that is too, right? But the truth is, most people barely watch these teams. Maybe they saw them in a conference championship over the weekend or something like that. But that's not the point of the March Madness tournament. The reason the tournament is amazing isn't because somebody predicted it. It's because of the moments. It's the buzzer beaters. It's the upsets. It's that maybe random Cinderella team that makes a run that no one saw coming. And that's what we may remember. But nobody remembers the guy in your accounting office that said he had the Sweet 16 right, or he picked freaking Sienna to upset Duke, or whoever it is, right? But just, if you come into my bar, which I'd love you to come into my bar, right? I don't care about your bracket. I don't care about your bracket.
You don't give a damn?
I don't give a damn. And just so you know, I took all 4 seeds. I took the top 4 seeds, took Arizona, even though I think Michigan's win, but I can't take Michigan because I hate Michigan. Yeah. So I got Arizona, and I hope Arizona wins because I like the program, I like the people, I like the fans, and we have a lot of Arizona people here.
Is there a sign on the door when you come in? Don't talk about your bracket to your bar.
You can talk about the bracket at bar, but just don't talk to me.
Talk to you about it.
And if you start, like if you come in and say, hey, Roc, who do you got in your Final Four? I'm like, all 4 number 1 seeds.
But Roc, you're the sports talk expert.
No, I'm not.
They want you to know.
I've never, ever have taken that
22 years, Roc, you're pretty good. Can we get your opinion on will High Point beat Wisconsin? Will that be the first upset?
If you want to talk about the business side of the March Madness and the $220 million that's at stake and that fact the ladies only get $20 million, I'll talk that all day. But I'm not going to talk about who you picked. Or, hey, dude. And then it's even better now with DraftKings and FanDuel and all that. Oh, dude, I got a parlay. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care.
Or how about the guy that's not in total agreement with Jay Billis, the expert? And well, I liked his pick, but I don't agree with. I'm like, do you watch so and so? Well, I really think Nebraska's got that thing, and it's interesting. I'm going, wait a second. These guys do it for a living, and you're going to contradict Billis and the other guys about so-and-so to your point. And that just cracks me up like, okay, so do you watch these teams 24/7?
I think this is just me a conspiracy theorist. I believe that there's somebody paying these talking heads to go a certain route.
Oh, yeah.
Say, I need you to run with Michigan. I want you to run with Michigan. Just go with Michigan.
But that would be a stretch to run with Michigan.
No, maybe not. But, they are not favored to win at all. Right. I mean, but they're up there. Or maybe a Final Four team of St. John, Rick Pitino, whoever.
Now, that might be a stretch, or
I mean, I do like UConn a little bit. Sure. I mean, they're kind of somebody that I think could be there. No, I just.
So what you're saying is tonight when you're at the bar, and it's a big night, it's bingo night, right?
That's a debut.
Okay, big debut. So there's going to be hundreds of people at the Orangedale Lounge.
We're a small little dive.
Okay,
that's why.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So when the bingo caller calls out 010, and some guy stands up, I got it, bingo. Hey, Roc, what do you got in? You just going to step him if he does that to you? I'm just curious. Probably.
Okay. So you bring up a great question.
Yeah.
Customers always
right?
If you're the owner, why would you adhere to the customer?
This is kind of like kind of like Dick's Highway, where if you ever been to Dick's Highway, where they treat you like if you don't like that,
get out.
Hey,
love it.
I only have 28 seats in this bar, and if you're going to be a pain in the ass in that one seat, I'm sure I can find somebody else to sit in that seat. We don't need a lot of people to make it work.
Customer service.
It's not one of the things you're going to get super rich on either.
We're customer service at its finest.
Nice little investment, but no. I mean, come on. Do you honestly care if one of the sales guys comes up to you right now and say, "Oh, I got Florida"?
Oh, Manuch would talk to him.
Do you care? Do you really care?
I go, you're talking to the wrong guy. I'd say, you know what? But it's so funny. You hear the shows are ad nauseum about what you're talking about over. Okay, I've heard 2 or 3 different guys. You watch Sports Center twice over. You're like, okay, I get it. I'm going to go chalk, but you never know about this guy.
The worst part about the whole thing, though, Manuch, is everybody's got a podcast. Anybody could put a phone in front of them and just start saying, "Hey, here's the lock of the week."
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Hey, and come up with these stupid odds that says, you need to take this. Now, the facts are, though, when it comes to how often number one seeds win a national title, this is a fact. 26 of the last 40 champions were number one seeds. Now, that's since the 64 team year started in 1985. So that's roughly 65% of national champions.
Pretty damn good.
But like we talked about a couple guys in the last couple weeks, some advice for going out of your brackets is, some people like to try to find those sleepers,
the big
upsets, But if you stick to the chalk, you're going to be up. You're going to win money. If you stick to the chalk, you're going to win money. Now, maybe you're not going to win the biggest money, like the better odds money, but you're going to be up.
Or the guys that say, hey, look, did you see so-and-so in the tournament? Man, they waxed UConn. The Johnny, and the teams that come out and be like, well, did you see that team they beat during the season versus the other one? And they're like, well, and I guess you got to guard that. We'll catch up with Mike Adras here, former NAU coach here in a few minutes, about guarding against who's hot, who's not, or who just happened to have that game.
Oh, I like now. Like I can't wait for somebody to go up to me, dude. I can't go with Alabama now. That kid Aiden Holloway got busted with a pound of pot. I mean, he's out, man. The odds just went down. I'm like, I don't care. I watch Sports Center too, and I can look at my phone. I get the same update you get.
Hey, Wisconsin could bounce Arkansas. They could
if they could get past High Point. High Point. All right, Jimmy B. Where's High Point?
It's in Carolina.
North Carolina.
Never
heard. Not Kennesaw State. I know.
And I will tell you that Tubby Smith even coached at High Point for a year or two before he decided to retire.
And the only reason I know about Kennesaw State, one of my quarterbacks is playing.
Oh, okay.
At Kennesaw State.
That's how you know it.
That's how I know it. High Point.
Kennesaw State, is that Tennessee?
I don't know where it's at.
I don't know where it is.
I don't even know where it is. I looked it up, but I'm like,
Georgia. Yeah, that's right. Georgia.
Yeah, and he's had a chance to start down here at Kennesaw. Good.
Yeah. Hope I get a Kennesaw State.
All the faux experts come out during March Madness.
Oh, man, the proctologists. They're everywhere. Guys have their own business cards. Like, come on. I don't care. Who do you got in Final Four, Manuch? I don't care.
He doesn't care. Don't open that door, Roc, unless you want to know.
No,
don't come in my kitchen unless you want to cook.
Dude, since I went down that road the first hour, I got like 6 guys that text me. Why you gonna be such an ass?
See,
dude, I'm having some fun. But I don't care who you have.
Yeah. Lined up, Francis.
Yeah. All right. Former NAU head basketball coach Mike Adras will join us next. We'll talk about the final weekend of the conference tournaments, the bracket, Arizona's draw, and much, much more. Frank Sanders as well. Talk about the the wide receiver situation with the Arizona Cardinals.
It's Gatos. I'm here with Jamie, the owner of Southwest Blinds.
Hi, Gatos.
Nobody, especially my wife, wants me installing blinds.
Well, great news, Gatos, because at Southwest Blinds, we don't just sell window coverings. We help design them, we measure them, and we install them professionally, which means no more guesswork, no more messes, and Gatos, no injuries.
I'm not allowed to use a ladder or power tools in the house.
And here's the big difference. We don't subcontract. We handle everything.
Love that. Hire my friends at southwestblinds.com today.
Jackson Hewitt will do your taxes for $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So if you're a delivery driver, / handyman, / wedding DJ, you pay only $149 or less. We're talking to you, waitress.
Check, please.
/ pet sitter, / influencer. Just $149 or less. Want your refund to work as hard as you? Hurry, don't wait. File with Jackson Hewitt today. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
When it comes to custom closets, there's only one name experienced homeowners trust: Space Solutions. For more than 2 decades, this Arizona family has designed and installed custom closets, garage systems, pantries, and laundry spaces built to fit your home and your lifestyle. Get more storage, more space, more organization, and do it with a company that's grown right alongside Arizona families. Custom spaces for the life you live. Call now or go online to schedule your free design consultation at spacesolutionsaz.com.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Didn't know who Foreigner was.
I do know who.
No, you know.
I
They're
know.
playing it here in the at
Hot-blooded.
Toyota, Hot-Blooded. Mike Adras, you heard of the song Hot-Blooded. Who sings it?
Foreigner.
Yeah.
There you go, Jimmy B.
So, Jimmy, next time you hear music while you're during a break, let the music play.
Yes,
you don't
please.
need to sing.
Exactly.
I guess
Why
he
not?
does karaoke in Sun Lakes.
I never do
So-
karaoke. I always sit in with a band. I never karaoke's for losers who can't sing.
Jimmy, hey, can you sing solo? Hey, Coach, how are you, buddy?
Damn right I can, but
Hey, Coach is with us. Respect.
Yeah.
Respect for Coach. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Jimmy B started.
Hey, Jimmy B, you're cold as ice, buddy. You're
I am.
Walked into that one.
I thought it was bad company, to
Oh,
be
my
honest with you. That was going to be my
all right.
guess.
All right, well, bad guess. All right. Coach, what stood out from the final weekend in the conference tournament? Was there any tournament in particular that you kind of, when you look back, like, oh, that was awesome. That was a great game, or it had some big time effect on the bracket?
I thought the Duke Virginia game was pretty good, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I like Purdue, as like a sleeper, but now that they went off and won the Big Ten, I don't think that's happening for me. And I don't know. I can't say that there was that great game. I think my interesting observation about this is don't put a lot into the teams that won or the teams that lost and think that they're just going to, now they're in trouble. Like last week I told you I like Florida, and then they get bombed by Vandy, and you're thinking, oh, man, I was wrong on that one. And but the conference tournaments are different than the NCAA tournament in that you're playing sometimes 3 nights in a row or 2 nights and then the afternoon the next day. So there's very little preparation that teams can do, albeit they're playing a team that they've played already before, right, in most cases, and several times. And in the NCAA tournament, there's that day off in between where I think coaching can play a greater factor in those games because you get a chance to mentally prepare yourself for what's going next instead of just showing up and playing the next day and hoping you have a good game and you may knock somebody out. So
where Florida's lost to Vandy, if they were to play each other again and Florida had time to get ready for Vandy, I think you'd see a different result. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to tell you guys?
Clearly.
Yeah, I think I would hear you saying somewhere in the middle lies the truth. You watch St. John's just hammer UConn, and then you see Arkansas blitz, Vanderbilt. You go, okay, how much credence you put into it? And I think kind of answered that question, but St. John's and Arkansas, two outstanding coaches, Patino and Calipari. I mean, do you give them a little more credence for winning their conferences?
Oh, absolutely. Well, with Patino, I mean, I think they won 19 to 20, something like that. They're as hot as can be. Now, their last loss was to Connecticut, so, they kind of revenged that deal a little bit. And Arkansas, that's a good team that's really gotten better, and he's got them playing the way he'd like them to play, and it certainly helps to have a top 10 lottery pick in the upcoming NBA draft running your point guard position. So, both of those teams, I think, can fare well in this upcoming tournament. But, it's March Madness. There's going to be craziness. One of them could, each of them could get bounced in the first round if they're not careful and stuff. So, you don't see that so much in the first round, but can they get out of the first weekend? That's a tougher question to, as the tournament plays out.
Coach, over the years, you've been really dialed into some of the smaller schools that a lot of us don't get to watch on a regular basis. When you kind of look at this bracket, it's early. People are still, get ready to fill it out. Some people will wait till, Wednesday night. But is there a team or two that you like at this point that could get out of the first
week? I'm not seeing it.
Okay, that's fair.
I can tell you that.
No, that's good.
Two teams that I'm hoping do. I guess that the first time I went through my bracket, I picked South Florida as a team that could, and Akron is the second team. And I don't know about Central Florida because I don't know how good that UCLA team is going to be. They unfortunately had some major injuries in the conference tournament, and I don't know if those kids are healed up in 1 week time, So there's a lot of question marks with so many injuries. Duke has question marks, UCLA has question marks, and there's the other teams, and that's another byproduct of these conference tournaments where you're playing 3-4 games in as many nights. You don't do that during the regular season. Then all of a sudden we throw this upon everybody for the conference tournament games.
Coach, we had a laugh about smoking dope and the Alabama player getting busted for it today. And we kind of joked on how that was going to influence Alabama. They're matched up against Hofstra. Look, I know Speedy Claxton's not playing. He is the coach, but he was a great player. Speedy Claxton. Wow. Yep. And Coach will know who he is. Do you give Hofstra a chance against Bama just because of how good they are?
I guess it depends on how well he shares the rest of that pot with everybody else on the team, Jimmy B. So I haven't heard anything about that. And by the way, Jimmy B, you're old enough to be a bingo player. 010 does not exist, okay? That's in the B category, Jimmy.
Dude, great catch.
That last segment, I dropped you a notch because I can't believe Jimmy B that knows everything doesn't know that there's no 010 in bingo.
Yeah, he thinks he does.
Wait, I don't know what's the bigger challenge with that. The fact that Coach A just knows bingo as well.
I was just going to say, Coach, you were probably in some of the places I called bingo.
So we doubt if he actually ever called bingo now. We'll have to check on that.
I thought Rock has it at his bar. What's going on?
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, Rock, I got a question about the dive bar. I love dive bars. Okay, can I? Do we have food there as well, or is it just?
We got free popcorn, and like you go into Circle K and you got those hot dogs and brats. We got one of those. We got one of those rollers, and we got chips. Pretzels? Yes. Yes, we got food. Hey, Coach.
Rob, have some of them been on that roller for 20
Yeah,
years?
we throw a lot of them away. Yes, I mean, yeah, the life expectancy of that is not real good. But yeah, you got to come on by. It's not what you would. It's a bougie dive bar. It's like it's not what you would expect in North Scottsdale. You know.
I love it. Hey, I do agree with some of the stuff you said. Enough already. I don't care about what you picked or you just heard this. It's the same way. It's the same way I feel about the Super Bowl. 2 weeks of hearing nothing but talk about that thing. I'm like, can we just get to the game already? And let us watch the game finally, right? So, we're getting excited for Thursday, and we'd like it to be tonight, but it's a few days off.
Let me follow up on one question. Bruce Pearl, coach, went off trying to get his son and Auburn into the dance. He just trashed Miami of Ohio unmercifully. People are just blasting Bruce Pearl for what he did. Two-part question. A, does Miami of Ohio, even though they were 31-0, deserve to be in the first four in the play-in? And secondly, does CBS keep Bruce Pearl on the air?
Okay. I don't know about CBS, but I read something that he's still getting paid from Auburn, and it's a conflict of interest. I don't know if that's what you're alluding to.
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. So yes, I would say that's a conflict of interest. B, you guys, I was on with you last Wednesday, and I was all for Miami of Ohio getting in, thinking that they would lose to Akron in the championship, never thinking that they'd get beat by UMass in the first round. So all of a sudden, I had to do a little backpedaling on Miami of Ohio, because when you start comparing them to other teams that didn't get in, Auburn, no, they didn't deserve to be in. But I thought San Diego State, finishing second in the Mountain West in the league, it comes down to, should that team be in, or should Miami of Ohio be in? The flip side, which I argued last week, was I don't care who you are. If you go undefeated in the regular season, I believe you deserve a spot in the tournament. And it's a tough argument, and I understand how the committee looks at it a little bit better now. Does another team deserve to be out that probably has played a better schedule and maybe lost a couple of games, but are a better team overall? Like, I was worried about St. Mary's getting in, and I think they deserve to be in over Miami of Ohio. Now they both got in, so I'm a little happier about that. But so Miami deserves to be in because of the regular season. It's tough to win road games. It's especially tough to win league road games, and they navigated through all of that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm cheering for them to win that play-in game just because I want it. Other teams at that level to feel like if they run the table like Miami of Ohio did, then they should reap the rewards of being in the big dance.
Coach, and last one here for about a minute. How impressed with you that U of A took on the challenge and didn't just coast through the tournament? They win that game at the very end on Friday. They win it against Houston. Houston made that big run. Kind of a different attitude for Tommy Lloyd's team to play it, to win it, get themselves set up for the tournament per se.
I love that. Hey, you're out there battling. Let's go win a game. It's never let's go out and just do something, right? Sure. And I was happy to see Pete and Burry step up. They played terrible in the semifinal game and then played terrific in the championship game. And I think that's the beauty of that team, right? If you remember the semifinal game, both were on the bench in the final 3 minutes of the game, which just unheard of when you're talking about your two best players, that'll have NBA careers, are sitting on the bench while other players who are playing well lead them to victory. And of course, Bradley just made some incredible shots at the end of that Iowa State game. But kudos to that team, to their coaching staff. I'm hoping to go to the game on Saturday on Friday because they're down here in San Diego area. So they're certainly a team that's going to be reckoned with, and I hope they advance all the way to the Final Four. They certainly have the team, and they've demonstrated for the entire season. And they good for them for winning their conference tournament.
Coach, talk to you later in the week, buddy. Thanks for the time as always. And B3, would that work?
B3 will work.
B3 will work.
Jimmy doesn't know, obviously.
God,
no,
Jimmy.
I just used it as a reference.
No,
all the high numbers are
moonwalking.
under O. Okay, so if I would have said 072, then I would have qualified. Is that right, Coach?
That I don't know.
See?
I'm not the moonwalker, Coach.
Moonwalking.
I'll look it up and get back to you next time.
Okay, that'll be great.
Coach has got some homework.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. See you, Coach. Thank you, buddy. That's
You
good.
guys are great. Have a good one.
Mike Angus joining us here. All right, Suns score. Booker and Jalen Green are cooking. We're going to get into that. As they got a big game tonight in Boston, one of the league's best. It's a real gut check type game. Suns and Celtics. We'll get into that next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio Phoenix. We're on FM at 98.7 HD2. We're on YouTube as well and on the Arizona Sports app.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
The road to the championship ends Monday, April 6th, and the place to watch it is DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B on ESPN 620. Join us from 1 till 4 p.m. as we break down the matchup, the betting angles, and everything you need before tip-off of the big championship game. Cold drinks, big screens, and the best sports crowd in the Valley. Come hang with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live Monday at DraftKings at TPC Scottsdale. The championship game deserves a championship setting. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today. When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org. Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Back to Wright Toyota on Frank Lloyd Wright. where the guys are live from 1 to 4. Right Toyota, the right place, the right selection, and always the right dealership, and always open at righttoyota.com.
Green gets grabbed by R.J. Barrett on the perimeter, able to get through it. 5 on the shot clock. Green still on the dribble. Crosses over on Barrett. Step back 3 on the way. He got it again. How about Jalen Green feeling it right now as he flexes going into the backcourt with 34 points on the night.
He finished with that 34 as the Suns lost to the Raptors on Friday night, 122 to 115. Did have a 10-point lead in that fourth quarter. Snapped a 4-game winning streak. Big question is, can Phoenix carry that offensive spark into this next stretch? Of course, they had the weekend off. They're in Boston tonight at 4:30 our time. And, of course, Phoenix 39-28, Boston 44-23. Last time they played, the Celtics beat the Suns 97-84. That was just a couple weeks ago, February 24th. So a quick chance for them to answer back. And good matchup tonight, as these guys will be going. No Dylan Brooks, no Mark Williams, and Jason Tatum is in again.
Yep, he's back.
He's back. He is a absolute stud. George Goodwin is back. It looks so for Phoenix as well. But if Phoenix wants this one, it's probably going to come down to a few things. Don't let Boston control the glass. Get enough help off that bench, or just help in general to help Booker and Green, and close it out in the fourth quarter. Let's go, boys. Just close it out.
What when you look at the starting lineup, what screams at you?
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Let you tell me what the starting line.
For the Suns or
Yeah,
Boston?
for the Suns.
Yeah.
What screams?
Gillespie getting having 0 points. 0 points.
Manuch, you're on fire. Yeah, absolutely.
0.
Yeah, and also for tonight's game, Rock, you referenced it, no Mark Williams. So they're going to be small.
Yeah.
So whoever plays in the middle, most likely Iguodala, they are not going to be able to hit the glass as hard, and no Dylan Brooks, so you're not going to be able to be, getting those rebounds that you would hope to get.
And you talked about the game they won. The offensive rebound was dominated.
Yes.
By the Celtics. You bemoan that fact that, hey, look, points in the paint,
Yep.
and offensive rebound.
Correct.
They were dominated by that. You go to a low-scoring game per se. Defense was there, and I don't know if Green wasn't playing at the time. But again, the issue of not being able to close out the game, when you could tell Jordan out of the game, they're upset.
Yeah.
You're up by 10. And then, Green gets hammered on. You get hammered. You get that stuff blocked. They go down the other way. He mentioned they got hot at the right time, that being this Raptors game.
Yeah.
But he was just disappointed on not getting back and kind of feeling down. And, you just kind of sit there and go, is Booker and Green, and if Grayson Allen's playing, going to be the only guy scoring? Now, Gillespie, to have an opener like that,
I know.
That's rare. But I know Grayson Allen is he's supposed to play tonight, I'm pretty sure. He's on a questionable, but he needs to play these kind of games.
But it's one of the things that I'm going to be watching tonight, aside from if indeed they take a beating on the glass with the Celtics, is that Peyton Pritchard comes off the bench. Peyton Pritchard, when they played
by the way,
yeah,
there's Peyton Pritchard who killed the Suns last game. Yeah, let's bring him up, didn't you?
I'm sorry. I just think there's too much scoring ability by the Celtics, and I think that it'll be problematic for the Suns to keep pace. The style of play that Boston plays, helter-skelter, way up tempo, high octane. The Suns can play like that, but they don't like to play that fast. And Boston will force them, if indeed they get the lead, then to try to speed the game up.
Jimmy, what's the signal with Highsmith playing, Fleming playing, more so than you look at Ryan Dunn right now?
Right now, the coaching staff and the head coach, Jordan Nutt, believes that he's not getting enough from Ryan Dunn. And when you're not getting enough from that player, you try to send a message. That message has been sent. That's why you have seen those other guys taking Ryan Dunn minutes.
Well, it's interesting that Jordan Nutt talked about that specific, how Haywood, they love Haywood Heisman's game.
Yes.
More physical.
Yes.
Rebounding, and that's what they want. So it seems like with 15 games to go, the adjustments with the team are starting to happen, and getting Highsmith in, Fleming starting to come on, and we talked about that last week. All of a sudden, Fleming's biting into the minutes for Ryan Dunn, and you got a healthy Ryan Dunn. He doesn't even play.
Yeah.
And then Highsmith gets limited amount of time to get 19, almost 20 minutes in this game.
They are looking at other players because they know when they get to the playoffs, those players who are now starting to get minutes will be counted on in key situations. You just referenced Highsmith. He's a very good defender and a tough, rough kind of guy, kind of a Dylan Brooks kind of guy. Doesn't score like Brooks does, but he has those type of capabilities on defense.
Back-to-back now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be tough.
Yeah. Boston
Tomorrow.
tonight, Minnesota tomorrow. Yeah.
That's a heck of a stretch here for this team.
It is. And, hey, look, it's the NBA. Steve Kerr a few nights ago was complaining that they play too many games, that 82 is too many. They should play 72. Look, the league is the league. You are paid billions of dollars to play basketball and entertain fans. And Steve Kerr knows better than this. I just think that he was just throwing it out there to distract from something else or to just try to make a statement. The NBA is going to expand. They're going to expand to Las Vegas and to Seattle. They're going to bring back the Supersonics, and then Vegas will be a new team as well.
You know what's interesting with that?
Yeah.
Is that they're talking about maybe
Yeah.
two teams maybe relocated.
Yeah.
One of them Memphis,
yeah.
and the other the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
I thought that was interesting. Man, Minnesota, I would think, would be able to support that more so than they are. If you're going to move to a team, which is not rare in the NBA,
No.
teams bouncing around.
If you're the owner
Yeah.
of Memphis or Minnesota, you can go to those
Oh, well,
markets.
I
Great
agree.
business move.
Sure, I agree with that.
Yeah. If you're
And I don't think it
Minnesota-
has anything to do with the two cities not being able to
support. Oh, no, they support.
It's basically let's go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Let's go to
That's it.
Seattle.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, if that's the case.
Seattle will sell out every
If
game.
that's the
Oh,
case.
yeah.
If there's other teams,
Want to get out of that
let's see.
awful weather being inside, right?
If those two teams are trying to politicize their way to those two cities,
Yeah.
who's to say the other teams in the NBA are going, wait a second, we'd like to move too? I mean, there might be that bidding situation.
I don't know.
I think they're going to be expansion.
What other team?
I do too.
Yeah, I do too. Why not?
Yeah.
You know, the owners make more money.
Yes.
Whatever that expansion fee is
The
going to
buy-in
be, billions of dollars.
It's going to be I
4 or
saw
5. Yeah.
4 to 5 billion to buy in. Just to buy in.
All right, Frank Sanders has some thoughts on the wide receiver movement in free agency. We're going to talk to him next. But first, here's your local ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update with Flags.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks are rolling past the Cincinnati Reds today, leading 11-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning at Salt River Fields. Brian Nelson had a great outing for Arizona, throwing 4 innings, giving up just 1 earned run and striking out 6. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns continue their road trip tonight as they head to Boston for a matchup with the Celtics. Tip-off is scheduled for 4:30 p.m. with pregame coverage beginning at 3:30 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. This ESPN 620 Sports Center update is sponsored by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live tomorrow at Biggs for St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate St. Patty's Day and the first games of March Mania with the guys. Enjoy green beer, brackets, and hoops with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live at Biggs tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. Frank Sanders will join the guys next.
Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Whatever you're craving, we've got it. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon pours, and top shelf spirits served over ice balls that hit just right. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails, yep, all here. And with 5 Valley locations. And don't forget the teeth-chattering 29-degree drafts we're famous for. Pair it all with scratch kitchen bites that actually satisfy. From shareables to hearty favorites. When it comes to happy hour, Twin Peaks doesn't play. Twin Peaks, Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for Titleist limited time loyalty reward and promotion. When you special order any 3 Titleist Pro V1, Pro V1X, or Pro V1X left dash or AVX dozen golf ball, you'll get another dozen free. Golf with more speed and short game control than ever before with the #1 ball in golf. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, right.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid for the time spent on application may vary. Online help questions required.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is called touchdown Auburn. Sanders caught it. Touchdown Auburn. Frank Sanders from the Auburn's ahead.
Frank Sanders joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. right here on ESPN 620.
How we doing, Frank? How's your Monday treat you, buddy?
Hey, brother. Monday is pretty good. Everything's well. I got a question for you real quick, Rob.
Yeah.
What's your favorite golf course in Vegas?
Shadow Creek.
You played Shadow Creek? They let you on?
I didn't say I played.
Yeah, he just said it's
I
his
said
favorite.
you're gonna ask me my favorite course, and then I would probably say the win after that. I'd say the win after that. I'm assuming you're going somewhere with this. Are you calling us from Vegas?
Nah, brother. Usually I call you guys from Vegas. I'm sitting in the office looking at a box of Popeye's chicken. That's as far as I can get to Vegas.
So, what's your favorite course in Vegas, Frank?
Shadow Creek.
So, a road trip. I saw something on Twitter this weekend that is the most expensive course to play in the country, United States. And then I think some of the other top 5 was Pebble, Whistling Straits. I think maybe something in Carolina. But
probably Pinehurst.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember what number 2 was. But Shadow Creek was number 1. I mean,
Wow.
like $1,200 I
could
think,
see that
$1,300.
Wow. Wow. I could see that considering. I could definitely see that considering where it's at. Not only that, man, I've heard nothing but great things about it. I've never played it. Was invited to it once, but it did not match my schedule and my pocketbook. So we
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I no interest, to be honest with you. It's amazing. I'm not good enough to appreciate that. You know, $1,200 to play 18 holes. All right.
Hey, Frank, if you're going to up by Vegas, take a quick drive up to Mesquite and play Wolf Creek.
Yeah, I want to play that.
Yeah, play Wolf Creek.
That the Tiger 19 hole and that one hole.
I played it once. It's in the canyons and it's sensational. And it's not $1,200.
Why are we talking golf right now? I want to talk about the players. Or probably would talk
Please, you guys mind?
Can we get back to the
Yes.
script? We have a script
Yes,
here, right?
Exactly. Let's go already.
Go right ahead, brother.
All right, all right, Frank. I mean, we've talked about it for over a year now, but now it's over, the era with Kyler Murray. So, what was your first reaction when you heard he was going to Minnesota?
Look, to be honest, I believe Kyler. That's exactly how I felt. Like I was just quick. That wasn't just a play on words. Literally, I was, because I think there's a lot of talent in Kyler. I just don't think it matched with what we had here and in himself. So kudos to him for getting another opportunity. Hopefully this will be a better opportunity and a better chapter in his life that he gets to show off. That he could be a leader and probably lead a team somewhere, lead them to the championship one day. But that's about it. Anytime you get a chance to stay in the NFL, considering what we saw the last couple of years of his performance, anytime you continue to have a job in the NFL, it's a blessing.
Frank, it's just interesting that aside from the air raid, helter-skelter, hair-on-fire offense that Cliff Kingsbury pretty much ran that did not work in the NFL, we saw Kyler flourish in that. Then all of a sudden you get Drew Petzing's offense the last 3 years, and you kind of go, well, that's kind of sort of the same kind of deal that Kevin O'Connell runs in Minnesota. Drop back, quick, get it out, so on and so forth. So I tell people, so if he could make it work here the last 3 years, what thinks people that can make Kevin O'Connell can put that square peg in a round hole and make it work there?
He probably has some tools that just a little bit more different than some other coaches have. And I think that's the reason why, if I'm Kyler Murray and I get a chance to play with a coach as himself that seems to, really knows how to attack defenses, knows how to put you in your best, in the best spot where you're not really failing. Kyler has 7 years that, the kid that Stan McCarthy don't have. And so when you look at it from that perspective, that gives him a little bit more experience and a little bit more difference in what he's able to acknowledge or recognize about the NFL and how teams attack him. Hopefully it's something that the coach sees in Kyler, and he realizes he can do more with Kyler than he can do with his quarterback that he has right now. And we always say there's one man's trash is another man's treasure, and one organization is not the other organization. We've seen a plethora of guys leave the Cardinals organization and become Pro Bowlers. They win Super Bowls. They're on their third and fourth and fifth contract with other teams, and sometimes that's just what it is. Sometimes it's just being in the right spot gives you the right opportunity to maximize your talent.
And Frank, I truly believe he's going there as a starter. I don't believe in this competition thing with J.J. McCarthy. They can paint that picture all they want, but I truly believe he's going there to start. And I think because those receivers you just talked about, Jefferson and Addison, have gotten the ear of one Kevin O'Connell, the head coach.
Yeah, I would look. I think that when you look at, there's a lot of good stuff in Kyler, and I think that competition is going to kind of bring out the best in him. This is the opportunity of a lifetime in itself for him to prove that he earned the starting job, that he was not given the starting job. Although he had proved it in college, became a first-round draft pick, the guys that they brought in here, there was some question marks at the end of last year's season. If Kyler got healthy, does he deserve the job over Brissett? We often say we don't think that because Jacoby was actually running an offense at a high level. And so, but when you look at his opportunity now to go some places and, prove that he has a strong arm, prove that he can lead a team, change whatever bad karma or words that were said about him that either he earned, justly or unjustly, it doesn't matter. Now he has a new opportunity. So hopefully he goes out and proves that he's worthy of it. And, that's really what you really want to see. I mean, you don't really want to see anybody really fail in NFL. You want to see a kid that has potential and talent that it's maximized. And if he gets that opportunity to do something special, hopefully he does.
Frank, my question is, why do people forget that Kyler Murray with the Cardinals was 9-0, finished 11-5? Yeah, they got their brains beat in by the Rams in the playoffs. But why is that particular season just seems to be totally left out of everything that we talk about with Kyler Murray?
Man, I'm a proponent and a big fan of this statement, man. You always want to try to be remembered for good, and Kyler didn't have enough good over the bad that people saw. That's just exactly what it is. Unfortunately, that's the good of Kyler don't outweigh the bad of what we saw of Kyler, whether that was on the field, off the field, and what he did when he got to the sidelines. Never was a bad person off the field in regards to, personal problems or anything like that. But the things that when the camera panned in on, people saw that. The stuff that happened when he talked about his contract, like I said, he has way more bad conversations about Kyler Murray than he has good in the NFL.
And I think that's the key. The cons outweigh the pros with his time here.
Yeah.
With their Kendrick Bourne, here he comes. He played with LaFleur before. Solid receiver to kind of blend in with this team. Do you like that move to go after Kendrick Bourne?
I mean, if it works in regards to what Mike already knows about him, Coach knows already about him, that's good. That bodes well for him and his opportunity in the NFL. Of course, we're talking about our quarterback room and how that's going to play out. I mean, I wouldn't, thank God that Coach saw something good in me and he brought me over to another opportunity. Again, it expands the room and the receiver room in regards to another player just in case somebody gets hurt. But in truth, when I look at my receiver room, I look at two young studs, man, that are 6'3" and above that can run 4.4 and 4.5. They have all the agility and ability to go out and make plays. And we saw Michael Wilson take a stance on wanting to be receiver number one last year. Anybody that's a wide receiver that walks in this room or walked in our room this year will always, to me, be second place no matter what, because we're the starters and we're gonna dominate like that. So good move for the Cardinals bringing somebody else in. But he still has to go out and make plays in order to earn his job.
I'm with you on that. So in the number 3 spot, in your estimation, Frank, do they make a splash and draft Jeremiah Love, or do they go for an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman? Where are you?
I'm on. If you got a chance to get a talent like Jeremiah Love, I'm automatically grabbing him.
Amen.
I would love that.
Amen. You can't have enough great receivers in the NFL, considering that this is a pass happy offense season. Pass happy offense when it comes to in regards to the NFL. Jeremiah Love is a talent, man. We got points on the board is what we needed last year. Guys going out and making plays and dominate and giving your defense the break, because we felt like we had a good defense and some guys that can go out and make plays. It's just they were running more plays on defense than they were on offense, and that's not how it's supposed to be. And so, respectful of that, if you got a chance to get a talent like Jeremiah Love, you can't turn that away. Another Ohio State great receiver. Ohio State has dominated college football in the last 4 or 5 years, and we're producing wide receivers, and they've been excellent at it. Of course, LSU has their own right to that claim that same thing, but he's a talent that you got to have on your team.
So, Fran, you think of Jeremiah Smith, receiver at Ohio State. We're talking about Jeremiah Love, the running back.
Oh, the running back. Man.
Yeah, at Notre Dame.
Man. Rock, you know what? I apologize, Rock. I see you over there giggling right now. I know you're giggling, Rock.
It's tequila.
It's another tequila sunrise.
Rock, I know you're giggling. I apologize.
No. Connor caught it. We were like, you were on a roll. We're like, let him go.
When you got to the Ohio State thing, I went,
what?
Yeah. All right. It happens.
So bad. I apologize.
All right, so just for that, we're not going to pay you this week for coming on.
That's okay. It's the same check I've been getting. I appreciate that.
Hey, I got to tell you, got those dust on those golf balls. So, we can get those golf balls here. No, but what do you think about Jeremiah Love? What do you think
third
about
pick?
I saw him. I saw him. I saw his workout, and I was so proud that he even showed up to the combine to challenge all those other guys that had names that would have been naysayers to him if he hadn't showed up and he only did his own personal workout. I'm so proud and glad that he came to the combine, put his name, put his money where his mouth was, and 100% outperformed pretty much all the running backs that were there. So, look, he looked explosive. He looked great. Would I bring him in after we just got Tyler Algier? That would be tough, because I know what Tyler can do. But I will say this here. What he showed at the combine would be hard to turn away from, knowing what we want to do on the offense and how we want to control the ball.
Frank, seriously? Tyler Algier versus Jeremiah Love? So what? Too much fresh air last night? Seriously? You had Jeremiah Love versus Algier? What? What?
No, I saw Algier, man. I did. I'm not taking that away from him, but he was the backup to another great running back, and that's Bijan Robinson. So I didn't see the full picture, but when you get a chance to watch what this young kid is able to do and what he was able to do, contractually it makes more sense because you got money that you could. The youth of what he brings to the table, his speed, his explosiveness. Again, we saw what won the Super Bowl this year, and a guy named Kenneth Walker III.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that tells you that the running game is just as important as the passing game is if it's done right and run properly. And I think that part was having both of those guys would be just, wonderful amenities, knowing the fact that JC hasn't truly played a full year, and that's James Conner, hadn't really played a full season with the Cardinals because of injuries. And so a young stud like that, it's hard to pass up. He can catch the ball out of the back. He can run.
Yeah.
He blocks well at the point of contact. He has great speed and vision. So all those things it's just another weapon. You don't want to limit yourself. You can have weapons on your offense, whether that is from the passing side, from the receiver position, or the running back position.
If you're thinking Algier over Jeremiah Love, I'm taking you into therapy. I'm going to therapy. Seriously? Right now?
Look, I'm not taking them. I just add them to the fold. That's the point. I can't draft. I'm only drafting one of them. So if I get a chance to draft him and he's there, then that gives me another weapon into the room that seems like something that we tried to do last couple years under Petzing with his running style offense. We look at the Rams. The Rams run the ball. When their running backs were healthy, they ran the ball more. That opened up the pass. And so I'm pretty sure Mike's probably going to bring that same mindset. He just brought in another offensive lineman to be for that offensive line. You got to have that balance. You guys know this is a copycat league, and watching what happened last year was a balance of offense, 2 running backs just below 1,000 yards or more. Then you also see receivers catching the ball. You got to have that balance, man, because defenses are really, really good, and the guys are really talented on the other side of the ring.
We need to let you go. You need to go take a nap after that, Jeremiah.
Oh, hey,
What?
Frank, I got your back, Frank.
Yeah.
That was all Manuch.
Yeah,
And
that's
Jimmy
right. Yeah, that's me.
Hey, don't include me.
That's why.
Manuch, you wouldn't take him, Manuch. So that's all you.
I would take Jeremiah Love in a heartbeat. Absolutely. He's my number one choice at number 3. You kidding me? He's a 5-tool guy. Algier over Love.
Was I saying something different? That's how we were going to say. Or we
No, we were, but you were moonwalking on that. So, well, we got Tyler, we got Algier, and blah, blah, blah.
Hey, by the way, guys, this interview's not going to make the greatest hits. All right, we're going to toss this one out. We're not even going to repost it. On the podcast,
Frank.
We won't even because I'm blaming Manuch. When it's all Manuch's fault. All right,
I'll take
Frank,
the blame on this one, Frank.
He's the customer.
I'm gonna call you on this.
He's our guest. You can't throw the guest under the bus.
We're gonna have some words after the show. That's the word. That's the show. You ready for that, Frank?
I'm okay with the words.
Love you, buddy. Have a good week.
Love you guys. All right, brother.
That's the number 81, Frank Sanders. Appreciate him. You can follow him on his social media. Just search Frank Sanders 81. He's presented to you today by All City Towing. Yeah, All City Towing. They're Arizona's largest towing company, and they are hiring drivers, dispatch, customer service professionals. Got great pay, benefits, monthly fuel allowance, much more. You can apply today at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. All right, we'll wrap it up. We got our Learner Row 1 call. We had a great visit with Casey Jacobsen from Fox today, and how he kind of basically talked about how fascinated he is about the University of Arizona basketball team. We'll bring that back to you next.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frankwood Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills, high school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
But can I just mention Arizona? I'm fascinated by what the Wildcats are doing, and I'm fascinated because of how they win. Not that they win, but how they're doing it. Two ways. They don't need the three. They can shoot it if you make them, but they don't need it. They rank 358th in the country in three-point attempts per game. That's bottom 10 in America, yet they beat Florida. They beat UConn. They beat Houston, all without making a lot of threes. That to me is so bizarre, unusual, that I love it. I just love that they have their own unique style. And the other thing is they start three freshmen, and there's only been one team in the history of college basketball that has won a national championship starting three freshmen. That was Kentucky back in 2012 with Anthony Davis. Duke had three freshmen in their starting lineup last season with Cooper Flagg, but remember, they lost in the Final Four to Houston. So if Arizona cuts down the net, they will do so in a very unique way, a way that only one team has ever done it before.
Casey Jacobsen, from Fox, who, of course, played many years with Suns, a bunch of teams, as well as Stanford, and you'll see him all week on Fox. But appreciate him. He is our Lerner Rowe one call, that's all, call of the day. Interact, check Facebook call, that's all. 602-977-1900, and always online at LernerRowe.com. All right, what's on tap? Sponsored by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Give us your partner, Roc Manuch and Jimmy B's. The March media coverage tomorrow will be out at Bigs in Peoria, followed by Scottsdale DraftKings, and then Twin Peaks, Camelback on Thursday, and Scottsdale on Friday. So a lot going on this week. But all we have to worry about tonight is sun. Coming up at 4:30. You can hear it over on the mothership. Arizona Sports 98.7. It'll be on Arizona Family, 3 TV, as tip-off at 4:30.
Suns tonight, Minnesota tomorrow. Tough task. We'll probably be back, Saturday?
Yeah.
They're probably back
They have
up
to go to San Antonio.
Yeah, they got to go there. Oh, by the way, San Antonio. Well, there's these next 15 games, 14 games aren't going to be easy, and you got to hope that it looks like as far as tonight, the only person out for the Suns, obviously Dylan the Villain and Mark Williams.
Yeah.
It's like Grayson Allen is supposed to go
Okay.
tonight, but he's been pretty much, depending on how well he feels, like about an hour before the game, warm-ups, what have you. But was it interesting, we talked about Gillespie having an over. I've never seen Colin Gillespie not score in a game against the Suns. He and Allen, and obviously contributed, but that was an anomaly for him to have 0 points. We don't know if he was sick or hurt or whatever.
I don't expect that to be the case, obviously, tonight. However, I do anticipate this game to be a end-to-end action, up-tempo contest because that's what Boston does. And Boston is going to jack over 43 pointers in this game.
Last time they were here, a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
That was such a blowout by the Celtics.
Oh. Yeah.
They destroyed it.
Yep.
And you guys know I was at the game, and it was just watching the guys. I wasn't a big Jalen Green that day fan. I mean, he didn't have the best game. He took that real bad.
Say bad ball. Yeah.
No, the big fall was against Cleveland. That's what it was. He had that big fall under
his tailbone into the basket.
Yeah, that was against Cleveland. But just when it was Celtics, they just weren't into it. They didn't have any life. Suns didn't have any life. So hopefully they're on the road, they're well rested. They didn't play. The last time they played was Friday. Quick hour over to Boston. They should be fine.
Okay, so you're sitting in a good seat near the court, and you're watching the tempo of the Boston Celtics. Clearly, how fast are they?
Big time.
Yeah. That's
thing about the Boston Celtics, though, is other than the Brown and Tatum and a couple other players, I didn't know. Well, they did it. I mean, there's talk about him being the coach of the year.
Absolutely.
Because he's taken a bunch of nobodies and he's made it work.
Well,
it has worked.
If Pritchard's always been the standout.
He's always been the
Pritchard's
six.
good, yeah.
He's won six man.
Yeah,
before.
he is. But yeah, you're right. That the size and the speed, especially their size down low, how they just controlled the boards and the Suns. And the other thing too was impressive was their perimeter defense. And they played some defense. They get out there.
Yeah, they do.
Now that Tatum's back, and he's back,
and he changes everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Boston's going to be one of those teams. It's going to be tough for them to win tonight. I think the spread was 8.5 last time I was actually betting. What an hour.
An hour ago. While you were on the show, you were
taking a break there, you Roc?
Well, Manuch and I were talking.
But I was listening to some of these guys that do this for a living. They're like, take the under, take the under. I'm like, I don't know. That last game I saw, they scored at will.
Yep.
But, hey, Jalen's playing great right now.
Yeah,
if the duo can continue, maybe they'll shock somebody. I think they're going to get one of the two.
Tomorrow we will be at Biggs out there at P83. Chris Dobertine, the bracketologist, will get his thoughts. DC Report, kind of put a wrap. Kyle Dodd of ASU get his thoughts on the tournament and ASU moving forward. And then Bobby Mack, with any more moves the Cardinals are making, they made a couple this afternoon.
We got Biggs tomorrow, TBC Scottsdale DraftKings on Wednesday, and Twin Peaks Camelback Thursday, and Twin Peaks Scottsdale.
Fun week, man.
Fun week. Yeah.
We're everywhere.
And if you see me out, whatever, I don't care who you have in your draft. I'm sorry, your draft too. Who you think Carlos?
I'm showing up at the bar tonight to ask you.
Be nice.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found good